Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
This is your home for the Cardinals. Eudora Sports Live.
Van Dong in motion. The give is to Moody. Moody ducks down and dives in. He's standing over the ball. He's going to take it quickly. Looking across the field, and he's got it! It's Jude Whalen. And now Addy Hemphill puts it away for the Cards. They'll take a 2-set lead. Hendrickson in motion, give to Duncan. Duncan, and he's trucks the safety. Is he in?
It's time for the Cardinals on your home for Eudora High School Athletics. Eudora Sports Live.
All right, hello everybody, and welcome in here to our Fort Scott Community College pregame show here for playoff football at Eudora District Stadium. It has been a couple years since we've gotten to say that. Their last time was 2023 when they played against Piper, and they won that game 28-14. They would lose to Atchison the following week. The Cardinals are the Frontier League champions, and with that, they are the undefeated Frontier League champions. They did not lose a game after week 1 when they lost to the champions of the 3A class, Hayden Catholic. And so the Cardinals have not lost to a 4A team that they have faced all season, and that will remain the case until the end of this season because they will not face anyone outside of their class anymore. But yeah, their first home playoff game since 2023, they are riding a 7-game win streak. And just for fun, it's the first Halloween game for more than a decade. 2014 was the last time that the Cards got to play on All Hallows Eve when they took on Baldwin, and that was a loss against the Baldwin Bulldogs. But yeah, this is a fantastic year for the Cardinals, and this is it's hard to overstate how overmatched the Cardinals are in this game. When you look at Field Kindley, a school from Coffeyville that they're playing, they're called the Golden Tornado, which is a pretty awesome name, you got to say, and they go by the NATO, so we'll be calling them both interchangeably this game.
Love it.
They are 0-8 on the year. 3 weeks in, they had already had 160 points scored on them. If you add up all of the scores of all of their games this season, I'm going to mute you just over there. Yeah. If you add up all of the scores from all of their games this season, the total score is 411 to 14. The 411 being their opponents, the 14 being them. They went 6 weeks without scoring. It has been a rough year for them. And what's crazy to add on top of all of that, just 2 years ago, they won a playoff game. And in fact, they did the year before that as well. They won playoff games in 2022 and in 2023. And they were 6-4 both of those years. They went 2-7 last year, but they have graduated more than 20 starters over the last 2 seasons. And so that was what has led to the situation that they are in now, where they have thoroughly earned the 16 seed, unfortunately, you have to say. And it will not be pretty for them tonight, you have to imagine. And yeah, but it's a very interesting team. The Cardinals met them once before in 2004 in the playoffs as well. Cardinals beat them 35-18. Their head coach, Deontay Wade, has been there for 6 years now. He was at the helm for both of their 2 playoff wins recently. But yeah, it's been a rough time for them this season especially. And so just as much as the Cardinals have earned this 1 seed, Field Kindley from Coffeyville have severely earned this 16 seed as well that they find themselves in. But the Cardinals earned this favorable matchup. They played really, really well this season, and they have set themselves up for a very nice night here tonight. So we will go ahead and take a first break here from this pregame show. When we're back, we can look a little bit more into this matchup and hear some words from Coach Steffen.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
All right, back here on our pregame show. It's also senior night here for the Cards, so they are honoring a few different seniors right now for the Cards. And that was something that I talked with Coach about, and he said that the first play of this game will be entirely seniors, and that he's highly anticipating that first play. So we will see how that gets to go for the Cardinals. But yeah, let's run through some different questions I got to ask him just this morning. I asked him first about the Frontier League title, how special it is to have this group of players go down in the history of Eudora football. And his response was, I think this is a great accomplishment for this senior class and for our team. Their hard work all summer and fall paid off. We started 0-1 against a good Hayden team, and we knew we had a long way to go, but we also knew how important the game was to getting better. We talk about legacy and how you want this team to be remembered, and being the 1 seed and going 5-0 in the league is pretty impressive. And I asked him during that week 1 battle against the Hayden Wildcats, could he have known what was coming forward, that his team was not going to lose for the rest of the season. And I asked him, how do you reflect on that game now that the season has gone the way that it has? And he said, playing the back-to-back defending runner-up in the 3A class is a game that we want to play. We have to be really good week 1 and prepare all summer for a good team. So that keeps the motivation high in July when the guys are grinding in the weight room. So he's saying, when you come in knowing you're playing a champion, that makes it so that you hit the weight room harder than normal. It's not just like, oh man, we really want to beat Paola. It's thinking, man, we know we are playing a championship caliber team and we've got to get to that level. And yes, the Wildcats did beat the Cardinals, but they have played championship level football the entire season and earned themselves a title within the Frontier League, and they can set their eyes on maybe even more here in the playoffs. The weather will play a part in this game just as it did last week. It is 54 degrees right now, and there is potentially going to be some precipitation in the future for this game. So I asked him about that. I said the weather was nasty for last game against Paola, and it could be a similar story today. And no matter what, it will definitely be chilly. How did that affect things against Paola, and how do you anticipate it factoring in against Field Kindley and the rest of the playoffs? He said Friday was pretty nasty to start. We made sure from a game management standpoint that we had dry footballs and towels, but at the end of the day, you just have to be mentally tough and get after it. After the rain stopped, which was the second half, it was football weather. And I asked him about the first half. The Cardinals pretty much exclusively went for 2 against Paola. Second half, they were kicking. And he said, our kicking game was just bad in the rain, and we wanted to have those nice numbers, the 14, 21, 28, so we were trying to get back on track there. So this is the Cards' first playoff game since 2023. I asked him about the atmosphere, and he says, you know, he understands that it might be a little bit thinner tonight for the Cards because of Halloween, which does make sense. But in general, he's extremely excited to get to bring playoff football to the city of Eudora. He knows that they will always show out for it. And I asked him about this matchup. I said to him, this favorable matchup is one that your boys earned for themselves. And it comes against a team that has won a playoff game a couple years ago, but they've lost so many players. What is key in a game like this to make sure that the opponents don't have any way in and the doubt never gets a chance to creep in any of the Cardinals players' minds? And he said, we have to be ourselves. Play really good defense, execute on offense. If we do those things, this group has prepared all week as if it was their last game. They're going to come out motivated, and we get the added benefit of playing on senior night. And so then I asked him, what is one specific thing you want to see from your offense, one specific thing you want to see from your defense in this game? And he said that he highlighted he's excited for that first play of the game. He wants to see success on that opening play with all the seniors out there. And then other than that, he just wants to see his team be physical up front, no different than the message all year long. And on defense, he wants to see them communicate really well and get to the football. just like they did against Paola. So that is everything that I got to talk to Coach about. I had some other questions about the Paola game, but that one ended up being a very comfortable win, 46-7. The only real main point that maybe we could cover in that is that Keelan Duncan scored 4 touchdowns, which is unbelievable. And he said that he wanted to get that type of game for him because he's a type of player that plays every single snap, offense and defense, and so he doesn't get to get the ball as much as they don't want to fatigue him. And so in a game like that, they were like, let's put the rock in his hands. He got 4 touchdowns. Moody got 2 as well. It was a great day for the Cards and an amazing performance from Keelan Duncan specifically. And Coach did say he wants to get him the ball more as the playoffs go on and on. He knows that's going to be necessary to beat some of the teams they will come up against. So there are the different questions we got to talk with Coach Stefan about. Is there anything that you're interested in that he said there that you want to add on to, Hayden?
Yeah, I mean, I think in general, him reflecting on not wanting to change the identity up too much, right? That tells me quite a bit, and that's how good coaches will approach games like this down the stretch. You're not focusing too much on wanting to do anything flashy or extreme, even though there are festivities tonight. It's Halloween. It's senior night. You're going to have a light show, I believe, performed by the band at one point. It's going to be a festive kind of night, but he's very much so keeping that focus and that intent on we're going to continue to play the way we've played all year. We're going to focus on the things we've been good at. We're not going to emphasize the things that we haven't been as strong at too much. And that's winning football, and that's nothing short of what the Cards have played all season long. Looking at a couple more stats coming into this one, you mentioned the Cardinals earning that 1 seed and Field Kindley kind of unfortunately earning their 16 seed. Coming into this one, the point differential for the Cards on the year is 270 points scored to 108 points allowed. Okay. So over a 50% ratio, which is generally ideal, of course, if you want to win games. For Field Kindley, it is a 14 to 411 point differential, as you mentioned. And this is, this Cards team has been really good all season long at grinding games out down the stretch, where even games that look very close in the first half, they're able to stretch them out more and more as things go on. And with them having the 1 seed coming in today, there are 2 massive strengths to that, of course. One of them being the fact that we are going to be right here in Eudora for at least the next 3 to 4 games. The rest of this corner of the 4A bracket, they'll play at home. The other benefit to that is them being the 1 seed means they are going to get the lowest remaining matchup the entire way through the bracket. So even if you get some of those upset wins where, say, a 10 seed is able to beat somebody seeded 5 or 6, that 10 seed is going to come here. They're going to get to play the lowest remaining team, which doesn't necessarily mean they're the worst team, but it means throughout the regular season they were not as strong. They are not going to have to play one of those teams like Tonganoxie or a team like that is going to be also closer to the top of the bracket until right up at the very end of it. So those are 2 massive benefits the Cards have. We also know in the cold they can play well. Keelan Duncan, you mentioned, actually got highlighted on Sports in Kansas on Instagram last week, or throughout this week, which they cover every single team in football right now this time of year in the entire state. That goes for 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, all across the state. They gave him his highlight this week, over 200 yards on just 10 touches, 4 touchdowns as well, but this is going to be a really fun game. The Cards are going to be, of course, coming into it knowing the outcome that they look to work for, knowing the way that they expect this game to go, but I don't expect to see any kind of foot taken off the gas. I don't know what the running clock rule is, but there's a chance we could see that clock running fairly early on in this one, Reed.
Yeah, you were talking about national coverage. Obviously, within Keisha, the Cardinals are the East 4A 1 seed. 8-10 varsity top 25 has them in there at the 18 spot. K-Preps has them at 2. Keisha Covered has them as the 2 seed. Kansas Pregame has them as the 2 seed. And the Kansas Football Coaches Association has them ranked as the 3 seed. So there's a lot of respect for this Cardinals team. No one will want to come against them, least of all the Field Kindley Golden Tornado. And it is going to be playoff football here for the Cards. We've got another break coming up on the pregame show, about 20 minutes out from kickoff, so keep it here.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you. At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit EudoraVet.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Prescription drug pricing points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know. It's about your right to be informed. Today, there are real threats to press freedom and your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late, understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
Looking at some different stats here, Coach Steffen comes in 4-4 in playoff games with the Cardinals. They've had some successful runs. They've done pretty well at home, especially. I'm going to get a shot of the band here. Got a band performance going on here on the field. There is one common opponent between the NATO and the Cards, and that is Independence. Those, what was the mascot? I just forgot it. Yeah, all right. The Indy Bulldogs. It was 38-0 that Golden Tornado lost to them. And actually, the last win for the Golden Tornado came more than a year ago against Independence. They beat them 42-0. And if that just tells you, so not only 2 years ago this was a winning team, an over 500 team that won a playoff game, even last year they had a lot of players they felt really good about, and that's why they went 2-7, and they beat Indy 42-0, and then this year lost 38-0. So that just tells you they are really in an all-time low right now, and they are a team that is very capable, and I think will get back to winning ways as time goes on. And as always happens, I mean, thinking about this being a playoff game in 2004, where it was 35-18, that's a decently close game, right? I mean, the Cardinals lost to Baldwin in 2014 on Halloween. That would not happen right now if we were playing Baldwin. And so there are always crazy ebbs and flows in the high school game because it's really more down to luck. So yeah, but it's luck of like who's in your area and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, the Golden Tornado, they'll be good in the future, I have no doubt. But that is not the case right now, and it is a favorable, very favorable matchup for the Cards.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough season. As you mentioned, this is in all likelihood an all-time low for them. I mean, they may not reach a point like this for the foreseeable future. This is just one of those particularly rough moments for this school. And you mentioned high school is so much, I don't know if I'd say luck, but more so just good fortune and timing, where when you have good players and when the schools around you may be going through their own kind of valleys where they're not quite as strong. But this is a matchup that the Cards will take on paper all day long. There is a good chance as well that a win tonight propels them to yet another game next week, where of course it won't be a winless team, but it will likely again be a team that they will look significantly stronger than on paper. So the stakes are high tonight. We forget that although you look at the records and you don't look at this as a game that they could lose very easily, it's still a playoff game. We're in sudden death mode now, right? A loss is the end of your season. So the stakes are going to be high, and for that reason I do expect this NATO to come out looking really strong today. They maybe not looking really strong. They are going to come out with all the force they have.
Sure.
This is the entire season on the line. These first couple drives are going to be as key as a drive will be at any point all season long.
Well, that brings me to a key I was going to say, Hayden. The biggest thing here, no doubt, is going to be no self-inflicted mistakes for the Cards. That is going to be the biggest thing here. Is if the Golden Tornado were to beat the Cardinals, which I will hang my hat on that it just won't happen today. If it were to happen, you need to let them have done that. Do not fumble the ball. Do not throw interceptions. Do not have bad kicks or punts or anything like that.
Yeah, the Golden Tornado would get their flowers, but if the Cardinals were to lose today, it's on the Cardinals.
Yeah.
100%. It would require a lot of self-inflicted wounds on their part.
But, yeah, I mean, and it was interesting. We were talking about the ebbs and flows of high school football. I think a big part of that is coaching, but it's so interesting to think their coach, Deontay Wade, absolutely a great, capable coach. Multiple playoff wins. He knows how to coach a great team. And so I think it just really reflects that they're just in a low point right now, and that's how it is, and that happens. The Cardinals have been at those low points. Even last year, they finished below 500. I think this is a really big resurrection, and I mean, obviously at this point we're familiar with the quality of the Cardinals team, but I think it caught us off guard how good they are this year. Last year they went 4-5, and this year with minimal change, just the growth of those players,
absolutely,
they are formidable. They are dominant. They are so far untouchable within the 4A class, and so I mean we've touched on it enough. Field Kindley will be a good team. They are not a good team. That is where it is.
Right.
You just got to put it like it is. Both teams have thoroughly earned their designations. It's a 1 seed against a 16. The Cardinals can practically pencil their way into the next round, but they've got to play the game. And I found it very encouraging to hear Coach Steffen say that his players treated this like it could be their last game. That's exactly what Field Kindley is doing. And that's exactly how you need to treat these games. Don't come into it thinking, oh, well, if we, do you think it's going to be 50-0 or 60-0? You got to come into this game knowing that you need to work hard, and it sounds like that's exactly what this team is, and that is this team's identity. They are hard work. I mean, they feel like a blue collar team. They just they just work hard. It's like they're a team of like mechanics or something. I don't know. They all want to get down and do the dirty work. It's the ground and pound nature of this team. They are physical. They are big up front, and that is why they have been a fantastic team here. And it looks like the Cardinals are about to run out onto Eudora District Field. A home playoff game for the first time in 2 years. Let's listen in here to the atmosphere as they run out.
That's why I'm thinking about putting my coat on.
Eudora fans, here come your Cardinals!
The group of seniors leading the way here on senior night, running the Cardinals through the banner out onto the field as they get ready for playoff football. It's like we've been looking forward to this for weeks at this point, knowing that the Cardinals would come in as one of the best teams, one of the most favored teams, and they have made themselves the most favored team, the 1 seed. They will have home field advantage in every round going forward, and that is something that they have thoroughly earned. And this game, this matchup is something they've earned, and it will be a great time. Let's listen in to the starters here from PA for both teams.
Number 13, Casey Barnhart. Number 30, Paul Austin Jr. Number 66, Drake Strimple. Number 68, Ian Lopez. Number 72, Paxton LeBaron. Number 76, Davison Sutherland. Number 78, Burley McFall. And number 85, Albert Hudnall Jr. Head coach of the Golden Tornadoes, Deontay Wade. And now, the offensive starters for your Cardinals. Sophomore, number 78, Carter Lewis. And the next 10 are seniors. Number 7, Bryce Mulvihill. Number 11, Julian Otis. Number 14, Brody Breckeisen. Number 24, Colton Bowser. Number 25, Jared Phillips. Number 50, Braden Marks. Number 88, Brady Von Holton. Number 52, Ethan Winton. Number 72, Leland Bradshaw. And number 73, Paige Pregame. Head coach of the Cardinals, Drew Steffen.
So you heard the nearly all senior starting lineup there for the Cards. Run you through it once again. Captain Bryce Mulvihill, Julian Otis, Brody Breckeisen, Captain Colton Bowser, Jarrett Phillips, Captain Braden Marks, Brady Von Holton, Captain Ethan Winton, Captain Leland Bradshaw, Captain Cage Crable, and the sophomore Carter Lewis squeezing in there for that first play of the game, starting all together the group of seniors for the Cards. So we are closing in here just about 5 minutes away from our opening kickoff. It'll be brought to us by Wolf Diagnostic and Automotive, where since 2005 they've been keeping Eudora moving. You can find them at 208 East Street. From tune-ups to major repairs, they service all makes and models with honesty and care. Call 785-542-5152, and Wolf Diagnostic will get you back on the road quickly. So with 5 minutes to go here, might keep you around for a little bit. There's decent representation for the Field Kindley NATO, coming all the way from Coffeyville, 2.5 hours away. And I mean, you know, for those seniors, this, I mean, we could say could or will be the last game of their careers there. And it's, you know, that it's hard to accept that. That's your last game of organized football for the most part. I mean, Field Kindley recently were sending guys to colleges, but I don't think this team necessarily will be. And so, yeah, it's a big occasion for them, too. It absolutely is. And it gets to take place here in Eudora. It's going to be a good game tonight. Going to be a fun one here for you. I guess we can follow here along for the coin toss out to midfield.
Yeah, and Reed, something else that stuck with me there was, you know, when we're reading through that list of seniors, how many defensive names on that list that have made such an impact this year that may feel subtle, but a massive impact from so many players who will be moving on after these next handful of games. Ethan Winton, Colton Bowser, Leland Bradshaw, Bryce Mulvihill on offense has been consistently a very large contributor to this team. How massive is that? You know, of course, we trust Coach Steph and the great defensive mind to continue to bounce back from things like that. And losing players is something that you become very akin to at the high school level because it happens every single year. But just really something to note there of how many defensive stars for this Cardinals defense will be moving on here soon. And that defense has obviously been the main strength of note of this Cards team throughout the entire year, alongside the very strong run game on the other side of the ball. But a lot of defensive starters. Got to think they'll be playing like these could be their last games of organized football, because as you said, playing at the college level is a rare thing. No doubt they'll have some players who could do it, but really something to note how many stars will be moving on for the Cards after these few games.
Oh, and so interesting to look at. Most of the offensive stars are younger. They've at least got 1 year left, maybe 2. And so maybe this is a team where 1 to 2 years from now, with a lot of the same names, they've got an identity rooted mainly in their offense more than their defense. But yeah, this is a year where it is primarily the defense full of seniors. I didn't catch there if we'll be receiving or kicking off here to start, but we will see shortly, of course.
I would imagine the Cards would likely be kicking off regardless of whether or not they won the toss. You'd think Field Kindley is going to want to try to get the ball early on and set a tone. And if the Cards would have won, I would think they'd be kicking off, as they've done for every game this year except one, if I recall correctly. Man, you can feel the environment here. It's amazing how even on Halloween night, the stands are packed here. The Eudora faithful has certainly showed up and shown out. Student section is packed full as well. You're seeing face paint and costumes and all kinds of awesome stuff over on that side. Playoff football, man. Can't beat it.
Friday Night Lights. First time since 2014 that Halloween has fallen on a Friday. It will happen again in 2031. But yes, every Cardinals player had their costume picked out for them. It was their uniform and helmet tonight.
I want to know how many wore their helmets and jerseys to class today.
So it will be the Cardinals kicking off here. The previous 2 times that the Cardinals went undefeated in the Frontier League, their season did not end until the state championship game deep into November. But tonight we find ourselves under October skies on a wretched night, sure to send shivers down the spines of anyone that wasn't too afraid to face the darkness. So here's our opening return, brought down inside the 20. For one team tonight, they find themselves in a nightmare, trapped in the manner of a beast. And for the other, a menacing journey lurks in the shadows. But tonight, Eudora is only haunted with a faint whisper of championship dreams undead. I am Reed McAvoy. I've got Hayden Hards alongside me here for the commentary tonight. The Cardinals special teams got to the tornado inside their 20, so they'll be starting there. I was watching back the Paola game. I think next season going forward, we might modify the dread zone to be inside the 10. I think inside the 20 is not too scary. But we'll let it finish the rest of the season out, as this being a start in the dread zone. It's a bad snap on the first play of the game. Looked like it went into the lap of the running back there instead of the QB. So a negative play to start things off for the visitors.
Yeah, it could have been something as simple as a snap that was designed to go to the running back and wildcat, kind of be sneaky and just fell out of the way. Or it could have been just simple mistakes. Of course, the cold weather makes it a little bit trickier to get a good hand on the ball as well. But nonetheless, positive start for the Cards. No positive plays on first down is always something a defense is going to be happy about.
So 2nd and 13 here right away. The snap is better. A handoff to the running back who finds a little gap before he is brought down. A 1v1 tackle there, Newt Schreiner.
And that's something these Eudora Cardinals have been so strong at the whole year, is filling gaps in the run game. It's something underrated that you don't think about a ton unless they get big tackles for loss based off of it, but that's what makes a strong defense roll. From the very foundation, if you're allowing big runs through the first level of the defense, defenses are going to struggle a little bit to make good stops consistently. These Cards have been awesome all year at filling all gaps on the line, rarely ever letting a run get up to the second level.
So quickly, it's a 3rd down and long here for Field Kindley. And it'll be another handoff to the back who goes to the right side and does not find much space. It's Nathan Magana getting the carry. And he is brought down pretty much right at the line of scrimmage, so right away, 4th down, the Cards looking to force a 3 and out.
And it looks as if formation change will happen, so Field Kindley will be punting this one away, it appears.
They tend to run the gun T offensive setup, and they are a 3-4 in defense. Wanted to say a quick thank you to Southeast Kansas Sports Zone, specifically their journalist Ginny Baker, for the great coverage of the Golden Tornado. Got to hear a lot from Deontay Wade through their journalism. A short punt here that does have momentum going downfield. It might even crawl its way all the way to midfield. It'll be right around the 47-yard line of the visitors, where the Cardinals will start their first drive, so in plus territory right away.
Yeah, Reed, here at the high school level with you and I, good journalism is always appreciated, because oftentimes that's the best research source we have. And good journalism, you know, papers, reports, magazines, anything of that sort that gives us a lot of info on a team is pretty vital to giving you guys good pregame and postgame coverage. So big thanks over there down in Coffeyville once again.
So here is this first play for the offense. As many seniors out there as possible for the Cards on senior night. And whistles will blow before the direct snap to Mulvihill. A little bit of, oh no, I was going to say maybe it was senioritis there for the Cards, but it was actually penalty on Field Kindley. So the Cards get to move a little further downfield. You presume they'll run the same play, direct snap to Mulvihill.
I say, Reed, it looked like Bryce was in at quarterback.
Yep.
You never know if he's truly going to throw the ball or if he's just lining up.
I bet it's definitely going to be a run to him. He had a rushing touchdown last game against Paola. Oh, it goes over his head this time. And it, oh no! It looks like maybe the Golden Tornado have it. They do!
Oh, Reed, you
play.
mentioned self-inflicted wounds, and the Cardinals coughed it up immediately right there. Field Kindley going to pump the ball and actually gain some pretty solid field position out of it.
That is unfortunate there for the Cards. Coach Stephan specifically said he was excited for that first play, but it did not get to go the way that it was planned. And we'll see even if the Cardinals try it again or what, but yeah, that is absolutely a self-inflicted wound and a bit of a horror start for the Cards.
Yeah, that's a spooky start to the year for sure, start to the day. And you mentioned Coach Stephan put so much emphasis on the opposite happening on that play. But the NATO get another shot at it here, past midfield nonetheless.
This could end up being one of the better field positions they'll find themselves in tonight. Another give to Magana, trying to find the edge. He's finding a little bit of room, but it's only good for maybe a yard or even that.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of room at the line of scrimmage whatsoever. It's something that, again, we're going to keep saying it's something the Cards have done well. When you're 7-1, you've done a lot of things well. But the offensive line has been such a big strength for them. That's something Coach Stephan mentions when he talks about the weight room all the time. That's a lot of it. It's those boys up front getting to the point where they're able to win at the line of scrimmage almost all the time, which is going to be a great recipe to start football games off well.
So it'll be 2nd and 11 in Cardinals territory, just ahead of midfield. Another give to Magana. And I don't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage there. It's going to be 3rd down and long.
The other thing I noticed is the Cards defense had either 5 or 6 hands on the line of scrimmage for that snap. They are showing very little respect to the passing game of Field Kindley, which you can see why. Seems like it's not something that's been potent for them necessarily, but the Cards are playing fairly reckless on defense here early on.
See if they want to try and pass the ball for the first time tonight on 3rd and long.
I feel like they're going to have to, trying to draw him off sides first.
Billingsley takes it. He does want to throw, and he will throw it. It's a nice spiral, but straight to the Cardinals' sideline. Incomplete. 4th down again. The Cardinals defense makes another stand.
That incompletion received by Julian Otis on the sideline.
This stand much more important than the first, it feels like, because we talked to Coach about, making sure that there's never a chance for any doubt to creep in. I think just there for a second, there might have been a little tiny bit, but the Cardinals can be confident going forward in this game as they force another punt here. Potentially see if this could be a better one. Comes off the foot. It's got a nice roll to it. It will bounce deep, and it will be fielded here by Mulvihill, and he will get it out past the 30.
Yeah, you can't doubt him for wanting to run that one back, certainly after a start like that. You mentioned you're wanting to start quickly, get back after maybe a hint of fear was shown, but...
And oh man, too bad the senior group not sent back out there. It's the regular offense for the Cards, so that was it for their one all-seniors play. That's unfortunate that it played out with a turnover. Pretty much the worst you could imagine that play going.
Yeah,
that is how it will go down, unfortunately.
Coach Stefan, I'm sure, said, you know what, I want to give you guys more time, but we got to win this football game first.
Yeah, maybe later in the game we could see that play tried again. But for now, the Cardinals with the standard offense. It's Carnegie in at QB. He gives this one to Moody. He's already got the corner, and he's going to go. One play for the standard offense, and it's a touchdown, Cardinals.
What a start for him. Didn't take very long at all. As you said, one play, going to be less than 15 seconds run off the clock, and the Cards answer back immediately to get out of any fear that you may have said. They turn fear for themselves into a bit of an eerie feeling for Field Kindley early on here. 6-0 on the board.
A 68-yard run there to the end zone. And now they will set up for the PAT with Dunback, trusting him in the cold. It was only the rain last game that made them distrust him, and also the score. They wanted to get to normal numbers. It's a
bad snap.
It was, the difficult hold there for Carnegie, but figured it out, got it up and through. So the Cardinals, after a bit of a slow start, have made it 7-0 here on Halloween night. We'll take a quick break.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood.
All right, the touchdown scorer, Dunback, the PAT scorer, to kick this one off deep, where it will be fielded around the 20 is where Ryder Wilson will be wrapped up and brought down by Jarrett Phillips. So the Cardinals got off to a bit of a frightening start there, you have to say, but they did figure it out and get the score. It only took one play with the standard O. They were hoping they could have some fun with all seniors, going for a little sentimental value. Maybe we'll get to see that play later on tonight, but for now the Cardinals going to worry about respecting their opponent, taking a good sizable lead here in this game, which should be something they are fully capable of. Des Hubler on this near side in coverage. This will be a give to the back, Kobe Kirk, who tries to cut up the middle, maybe got one. They are determined to try and run the ball, but I don't think they've had one go for more than a yard.
No, it's so difficult when this Eudora defensive line. That might be the biggest strength on the entire team on either side of the ball. So it's so tough. Of course, that's how you want to establish your offense. That's how you want to start the day off, is running the ball well, moving it well on the ground. But Cards have not allowed even an inch.
Looks like they did.
NATO here.
They did finally give him a yard. I don't know, it might be a little generous. Might still be second and 9.5. It'll be a passing play here, and Kirk's going to catch it, and it's going to be near to a first down.
That might have been a first down, actually.
Looks like Duncan was in on the stop there. And it is moving the chains here for Field Kindley. A nice play right there, just a quick pass to the sophomore Kobe Kirk.
Yeah, those slant routes are tough. I mean, that's Elijah Klobes was there in coverage. That's always going to be tough for a defender. You know, the receiver basically takes one good step and then turns the shoulders, and It's almost impossible unless you're pressing them directly. Good ball and a good route leads to an easy catch.
Yeah, it's going to give a lot of confidence to the offense. What can they do with that? It'll be a handoff to Magana. And fighting maybe for one. Lots of Cardinals help bringing him down. I see Leland Bradshaw in there among them.
Yeah, certainly maybe the story of the night as you see Marks jumping off the field here for Crable, bringing in a little bit more presence up front on the line after some attempts to run the ball. That's Coach Steffen saying, you want to try to run between those gaps? We're just going to put that much more effort into filling them. And that may be a story of the night, unfortunately, for the Tornado. Trying to run this one and just struggling to get more than a yard.
Here is 2nd and 10. Billingsley throws, and he's got a man. And it'll be a pick up of 6 or 7. Maybe they should stick with throwing the ball a little more, working for him.
Yeah, again, just something that's really, really tough for a defense. I mean, if you're able to stay in rhythm with the passing game, all of us Kansas and Missouri natives watch the Chiefs do that every week. Just very quick in-rhythm passing is really tricky for a defense to stop unless you kind of sell out to do that. And then if the Cardinals sell out to do it, Field Kindley can move the ball running it.
Yeah, Casey Barnhart on that reception, setting up a decent 3rd and short here for him.
Yeah, it's manageable for sure. It's the beauty of running the ball or passing the ball well. Either one opens up the rest of the offense for sure.
And this will be a keeper here. And no gain on that one. So it'll be 4th and short. It was Kirk. So not the normal QB, Billingsley.
And it doesn't surprise me too much, in all honesty, to see the Golden Tornado here actually moving the ball down the field somewhat well, getting some first downs. This Cardinals defense is almost entirely built on the philosophy of bend, don't break. They're not necessarily that explosive defense that you're not going to get a single yard against and they're going to get all kinds of turnovers. They're just going to not bend. They're just going to bend a little bit, never have any disastrous meltdowns on you, and it served them incredibly well thus far.
5 wide, and Kobe Kirk is in at QB rather than Billingsley, who we've seen take most of the snaps. 4th and 3 here. Last time they gave it to Kirk directly, he ran it, didn't get very far. They will let the clock run down and then take a timeout. So we can go ahead and take a break as well. The team from Coffeyville take their first of the game.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
I should have bumpered. All right, back here for 4th and 3. After the timeout taken by Coach Wade and the NATO. They've had a decent drive here after their first 2 drives ended with 3 and outs. They've picked up a first down and they've set themselves up for a 4th and manageable here. And they will set up similarly to the way they did the first time. 5 wide with Kobe Kirk as the QB. The sophomore is listed as a receiver, DB, and long snapper, oddly enough. They will have a motion man, and Kirk will take it himself, and he's going to fumble, but then he does fall back on the ball. It'll be a turnover on downs. Big hit there. I didn't see, was that Brock Long,
Maybe.
I think, that delivered that forced fumble blow to him?
He may have gotten the first down there. They're checking it.
It is close. To me, it looked short, but their chains are moving. Wow,
I certainly
did
thought
convert
it was short. Wow.
That is a very fortunate play there. The fumble recovered by the effective QB. He was a Wildcat QB, really. Falling on that one for the first down. And bit of a thriller play there.
That's something
Their drive
coaches
gets to continue.
That's something coaches love to see as far as effort goes, too. Not giving up on a fumble, and it gets them a first down.
Here's Magana to the right side. He's going to get a couple. So the 3rd drive here is turning out to be a decent one for the visitors.
Yeah, it's been a tough battle with the line for them running the ball, but they've really been able to move their offense just by being able to throw it. Certainly not the way you'll want the engine of your offense to work, but something they've been able to do fairly well on what has been largely a graveyard down in the trenches that the Cardinals have won tonight. They have been the dominant force up front without a doubt thus far.
They could do anything out of this formation. 4 wide with Billingsley and Magana as the 2 backs. And it will be a give to Magana to the right side. He finds a bit of a seam there, picks up 5.
And we mentioned it earlier, that's one of the benefits of doing one thing or the other well when it comes to playing offense. If you're able to run the ball well or pass the ball well, it opens up the other one's capability a fair bit. Even though they weren't able to run the ball well early, they started throwing it, started moving the ball, getting some first downs. Now all of a sudden you see them running the ball. They're able to actually get through that first level, get a couple of yards. So now it comes down to the Cardinals, in my eyes, to get something explosive on this drive as far as defense goes, to try to get a stop, blow up some of that momentum.
They sit right at midfield. They're going to run the same formation they did last play. And this time it'll be a give to McGann to the left side, and he will be swallowed in the backfield. Riley Nice not letting him get anywhere. It's going to be another 4th and 3.
Right as we say it, that's something the Cards have done so well all year long as well, is getting into the backfield off the edges. That's something they've been just unbelievable at, and they can do it with their edge rushers, they can do it with their linebackers, or even guys from the secondary have been able to get in on the action. Particularly Newt Schreiner and Colton Bowser have been really, really effective at it.
Surprising to me to see them send out the punt team. Honestly, I figured this would be the type of spot to go for it, but just in their own territory, they will send out Albert Hudnall Jr. to send away the punt. Good snap, and the low-driven punt will bounce around the 30. Make sure no Cardinals players touch it and allow the other team to take possession. They will not. They down it right at the 30-yard line, just about where the Cardinals started their previous drive, which was a one-play touchdown drive on the give to Grayson Moody.
Well, Reed, if you're on the Field Kindley side, the punt actually makes some decent sense to me because you were far enough out. The yardage you would have needed was, what they would call low percentage, something you're not super likely to get. Certainly not a 4th and 1 or 4th and 2. And if you're only down 7 points and you've actually shown that you can do pretty well on offense so far, I like the decision from the coaching staff, basically betting on the defense to at some point get one stop and the offense to start picking up a couple of first downs and moving the ball a little better.
We'll get to see Cy Thomas in at QB. It was Carnegie for the previous drive. He will toss it forward to Hubler. Hubler's moving quickly, and he gets pulled down right around the 43. Big carry there for Dez. We don't see him get the ball too much on offense. It does happen occasionally, and he is always dangerous with the ball in his hands. That's why he's involved in special teams and scored a touchdown last week.
That low center of gravity makes it kind of tough to get your hands on a guy.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about the future of the Cardinals team. Dez Hubler, only a sophomore. Last year as a freshman was phenomenal in coverage.
He was the starting corner last year as a freshman.
Yeah, he is going to be a name for the next 2 years. Fake to Moody. Thomas wants to throw. Otis is wide open, and he drops it. Julian Otis, the senior, had a gift-wrapped touchdown there.
I think it may have had, I might be grasping at straws. I would think it has something to do with the official. In my eyes, if I'm trying, because you could actually see him consciously trying to run sideways a little bit to not hit the referee. But nonetheless, that's not one the coaching staff's going to love, not one Julian Otis himself is going to love. As you said, that was
I think Cy Thomas might be the most ticked off. He's like, that was my touchdown, man.
Right. That was my 60-yard touchdown or so.
It could have been another one-play touchdown for the Cards.
They'll get more opportunities at it, I'm sure.
Or rather, it would have been a second play after the carry from Dez Hubler on the first play of this drive. Here's a give to Moody on second down. Moody sits a man on the ground, puts his head down.
Oh, my goodness.
Goes out of bounds, in Field Kindley territory.
Yeah, he did not hesitate at all to lower the shoulder right there. Something we know Grayson Moody's pretty good at. You know him for his speed and his elusiveness most often, but he is more than willing to drop the shoulder down and punish someone on the sidelines. So that was an 8-yard gain for Moody is what it'll go down as.
So honestly, I'd have to say it's been a bit of a slow start for the Cards at this point. They should have a second touchdown right now, but they'll have to rework that one. Here's a toss forward to Preston White going to the left side. He cuts down. He's going quick. He's got one man to beat. Will he get past him? He sneaks past and scores. I think it's a quick enough start now for the Cards. Out to a 13-0 lead before the end of the first quarter. Preston White found the edge on third down, and he was not going to be stopped.
And Julian Otis, who probably should have been the man of the hour a couple of plays ago, instead becomes the cameraman for Preston White's big moment down there in the end zone. A huge 50-plus yard touchdown.
So far, Hayden, on senior night, the seniors are pretty hard passing on the opportunities to get the spotlight thus far.
Not been the prettiest display, that's for sure.
Dunback puts it up and through 14-0. That's only on offense, of course. The defense, seniors have been great as always. 14-0 is our score. We'll take another break here in the first quarter.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Vet.
Dunback to kick it away here. 14-0 is our score. The Cardinals getting another big touchdown, this time out of Preston White. Kick fielded by Wilson, who runs to the right side. There's a lot of I guess you call it east and west running from
lateral running.
Yeah, from Kindley. They're trying to find that edge, and it's just not going to be there for them tonight. They need to just try and commit to the going downfield, which I know is not going to work for them very well either, but they're trying to pull a Tyreek Hill, trying to find the edge, and it's just they're not moving the same way Preston White just was.
Yeah. Every time I see a player try to reverse field like that on a punt or a kick return, we got spoiled seeing Tyreek Hill do for so long. I'm like, you don't have that speed. That's not a thing you can do easily. But yeah, that's not something you're going to want to see Field Kindley do a lot of tonight. Just try to run up the middle, find those gaps. There certainly won't be a lot of it on the edges tonight.
Dancing his way, trying to find a little bit of space. Maybe got a yard there. I believe that was McGanna on the carry. And he might be staying down after that one.
Timeout will be, or an injury break will be signaled.
Yeah, I believe that is the ball carrier, McGanna.
You hope to see just a cramp or something of the sort, something more minor. Never like to see someone go down. Colder temperatures always make those a little bit more painful for players sometimes, impacts.
I think we'll send you to a break here and come back when there are updates.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch Varsity Sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
So it was the ball carrier, McGanna, that had to leave. They were tending to one of his lower legs, it looked like. And he stayed down for a while before they were able to get him off with help from a couple shoulders. So we might see a big change to the plan going forward. It might lead to more passing like that, incomplete from Billingsley. Nothing wrong with McGanna at all, but if they're forced to throw the ball more, I think that might benefit. That just seemed to be what was working for them. Yeah. Of course, you want to have mixing it up, but the run game was just not there for them so far. I mean, there have been a couple 3-yard runs, but if they go to that quick screen game, that was really, I liked the way that was working for them. They were able to pick up a couple first downs moving the ball that way.
No, it was working really well, and that last incompletion may have actually been, I'd say, the first time today that the pass game has kind of fallen flat today. Golden Tornado have actually been able to do a pretty good job with it thus far.
Here is the 3rd and 9.
He was buried in the backfield, not even an opportunity before Golay, Klobes, and maybe Nice all got in the backfield immediately for a loss of quite a handful of yards.
This is a clear punt spot. They will send out Albert Hudnall Jr. It's interesting the way that his punts come off. Obviously, it's not clean contact per se, but it's always got a positive role for them. It gets downfield, and it's one of those things where if you're a Cardinals player, you really kind of don't want to touch it because it could easily take a weird bounce and then force a muffed punt, and you could turn over the ball in a horrible spot. And so then instead you opt to just let it roll. So it's actually not – it doesn't look great, but it's actually not horrible in terms of how effective it is. He has to go to his right to catch this one, and it will land at the 30 and roll out around the 37, so that one not getting out of their own territory. Cardinals starting, I think, in the best spot they've started thus far.
I believe so. Yeah, this
7 seconds left in the first quarter. You think they could squeeze in one more score?
Oh, for sure. I think you try to –
One play?
Doesn't look like he's going out of the field, but you got to try to get Julian Otis his get-back touchdown at some point. You know he's going to be wanting it.
It's interesting. We've seen this happen against Paola as well. Carnegie in at QB. We've seen Coach always switch between them, but, I mean, it seems like it's each drive right now is going back and forth. Coach seeing different things that he wants from his QBs. Houston Carnegie in there under center.
Trying to give each one equal opportunity at some stats today, perhaps.
Motion man is Duncan. The give is Moody. Moody's going to go. They will get a third touchdown here in the first quarter. Grayson Moody with his second of the first quarter, and it is 20-0 Eudora. This game didn't start off the way that we thought it would, but it is going to go the way that we thought this game might, at least as this first quarter starts to wind down. Moody in the end zone for the second time.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those games where there are a couple of different stats on the card side that you look at twice and go, what? How did that happen? Could certainly see big nights already developing.
The first one is that they turned over the ball.
Right. Yeah. Grayson Moody and Preston White already have big nights developing, and could certainly be the case for a couple more as Dunback knocks the PAT through perfect to make it 21-0.
He might get a lot of reps doing that tonight. It is 21-0 at the end of our first quarter. We will go to a break here and be back in a minute.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Helms Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
Are you looking?
All right, second quarter underway. Dunback kicks it, and that one's going to go into the end zone for a touchback. So the Golden Tornado will start at the 20-yard line. Hayden, that first quarter started very interestingly, a little bit alarmingly, you'd have to say, for the Cards with the immediate turnover offensively. Definitely not an ideal way to start things, and then Field Kindley actually got the ball moving a little bit. It was like, what is going on here? But by the time we got to the end of that first quarter, the first 12 minutes gone, it's 21-0, the game going the way we expected. What do you make of that first quarter?
Well, I think it's a combination of a couple things. The first that I want to highlight is, I mentioned briefly, this Field Kindley team was going to start this game out playing for their lives because it's, in all likelihood, the last game that they'll play this season, the last game that a handful of players on this roster may ever play. So I think it's a combination of maybe the Cardinals being a little bit rusty, a little sloppy to start out in the cold and first playoff game in a little while, and also Field Kindley just playing really, really hard to start off.
Here's their first drive of the second quarter, the give to the back.
Oh, and he's grabbed in the backfield. I believe it was Marks.
Kobe Kirk is potentially going to be the lead back the rest of this game unless Magana can return.
So it was Nuke Schreiner and Braden Marks in the backfield. Something we mentioned earlier is how well the Cards do with filling gaps at the line of scrimmage. Just makes it so difficult on any team to really have any success running the ball against them. You may have a better memory than I do, but I think Tonganoxie a couple weeks ago may have been the only team that we've really seen have sustained success running the ball against these Cardinals this year.
And
just about get
like
Schreiner offsides.
Might have been a false start in there. It will be. They will back up 5 yards.
Flag on the play before the snap.
Any fun plans for Halloween?
Sitting right here with you, talking football.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a pretty good night.
When's the last time? When the last year you went trick or treating?
That I myself,
or at least, how about last year you wore a costume for Halloween?
I wore a costume last year because I like sitting on the porch holding candy.
Okay.
Do the thing where kids walk up and I put a mask on and kind of move when they grab the bucket. It's a lot of fun. Kind of mean, but a lot of fun.
Billingsley throws to the left, incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 17 here. What was the costume?
The costume was just all black sweatshirt, pants, gloves on so my skin wasn't visible, and like a clown mask. One of those like kind of fleshy, like rubber clown masks.
That's kind of terrifying.
I put my camera out behind me and I have 2 or 3 videos of little kids coming up, grabbing a bowl of candy, and me just flinching forward like, here, have some. And you can hear parents out in the driveway howling with laughter as their kids are jumping around. It's a lot of fun.
All right.
Last year I was actually trick-or-treating was probably 4 or 5 years ago. How about you?
I don't know the last time I've been trick-or-treating. Last time I wore a costume was a few days ago.
Okay. Well, solid.
Billingsley wants to throw this one again under huge pressure by Riley Nice. Throws it straight out of bounds. Every time that they've tried to have a passing play where they actually have pocket presence, that's the way that it's going. He's throwing it right out of bounds. It's only those quick screen-type plays that were really working for him, and they've sort of gone away from that to some extent. And now on 4th and 17, they are absolutely going to have to punt this one away.
Well, and I think there may be something, too, as well. You know, of course, the players will never say it. Every interview we've seen, these players are very kind of coach-speaky. They say all the right things. You know, in a game like this, there are players who are kind of licking their chops going, I can get some highlights today. I can get some sacks. I can get some interceptions. And they're playing like it.
Maybe the best punt we've seen.
Certainly
and it'll
so.
go straight to Hubler, though, so that it'll be a net negative because they've got the ball in a dangerous player's hands. He's going to find the seam. Can he beat the punter? Oh, brought down from behind. Kiesian Riley gets to him in the nick of time. He was about to score.
Des Hubler knew he was about to have a touchdown, too. I think he may have actually kind of been strolling those last 10 yards because he was so sure that he had blockers and nobody was going to get close.
But it sets up a 1st and goal from the 6-yard line for the Cards. A fantastic return on what was a solid punt. It was the most standard-looking punt we've seen, and so it actually was easy enough for Hubler to field and get a big return. It almost worked against them that it was a somewhat decent punt. Oh, and there is a flag here at the end. Actually, it's not at the end. It's around the
right around the spot the tackle happened.
25-yard line. I'm seeing one at the 25.
Yeah, the refs were concurring around the 5.
And it's against the Cards.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called on the Cardinals.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, they say. So something.
So is
either something a coach said or something a player said.
This was after the play or during the play will be a big thing of where the ball gets spotted. Because if it's from where the play ended, then the Cards would be, what, at the 21? Is that right? Yeah.
Yep, right about.
And I guess that's about where they're standing to huddle up from. Yeah. So it will be
from the 23.
So maybe it was a moment before the tackle happened. I don't know what happened there, but anyway, the Cardinals will start from the 23. So the great return by Hubler is marred a little bit by the penalty there on the Cards.
And Reed, I was about to say something along the lines of focusing to get Hubler another touchdown soon, but I have a feeling if we try to get back a touchdown for every player who gets close to scoring tonight.
Here's a gift to Bowser, and no one will be near him. There's your first senior into the end zone. On senior night, the captain, Colton Bowser, got the give, and the Red Sea parted. He was gone.
The Red Sea, truly. There was nobody else even close. Man, oh man, Bowser and Duncan going to get a little celebration in there. Unreal. What a night so far for the Cardinals. And it feels like, Reed, it's just beginning.
It makes it 27-0 here. Dunback looking to tack on another PAT. And it will be up and good. So 28-0 is our score. The Cardinals with another touchdown. I mean, another first play of the drive touchdown there for the Cards. We will go to one more break here.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand.
Dunback to kick this one away once again. Last time went out for a touchback, and this one will bounce its way into the end zone. It'll be a touchback yet again. For now, the Cardinals still going with their starting players here on both sides of the ball. Still pretty early in the whole of this game. 10 minutes to go in the second quarter, but it is playing out the way that it was expected to. And I don't think that the fortunes are going to change at all as this game goes on.
No, this is. We're getting to the point of it being a little bit of an alarming night.
I think that we could. I think we could root for them to maybe get one score, just because it's been a while for them this season.
Yeah. No, that'd be awesome. If they're able to score a senior, even, it'd be amazing.
They want to throw the ball under pressure from Duncan and goes away incomplete.
Keelan Duncan does everything well as a football player. It's really pretty incredible to watch. He runs well, he catches well, plays defense well, secondary and pass rush.
Was the I wonder what the money line was on Bowser being the first senior into the end zone.
Ooh.
It wasn't high.
It
wasn't low, it wasn't high. It was Mulvihill had the lead on that. Otis had to have another one. The people that had Otis for that first touchdown are mad at him.
As a recovering sports gambler. I don't know.
That's not me.
Plus 5,000-ish, if I had to guess.
They're gonna go to his senior poster board and take money out for Julian Otis. This is the money that you lost for me.
You do the old State Farm fishing rod trick of, oh, you almost had it. See how close that was?
Timeout taken here by the visitors. They've got one remaining now with 10 to go. 2nd and 10 play here. It's interesting. Do you think they can go back to that screen game? They seem to have really moved away from it. And, of course, their offensive scheme has been heavily affected by Magana's absence. Why maybe have they had to go with it? Is there something the Cardinals are doing there? What do you think?
First of all, the whole reason that screen game was so open was because they were starting to be able to throw the ball well, over the middle of the field short, not even just on the screen game in the backfield, but they were throwing the ball short a couple of times well, which then opened up the pass game a little bit more, which then started opening up the run game. It all piggybacked off of itself. So if the run game is not effective, which so far it hasn't been, they've been getting maybe 2 yards at best on most of their carries, that means any pass attempts the Cardinals are going to be able to fairly easily root out and be productive on. So I think it's a combination of, as the night wears on, it'll get tougher to catch the Cardinals off guard. But also, when you become one-dimensional, you become very easy to stop as a defense. And I have a feeling that, unfortunately, that short pass game is kind of the only real card that Field Kindley has to play that'll be productive at this point in the night.
2nd and 10 here. They do have Kirk in the backfield along with Billingsley, and it'll be a give to Kirk, who dives forward before Schreiner will grab him and throw him to the ground. So it'll be 3rd and 9.
Once again, just another example of how well these Cardinals do of putting you in kind of no-win scenarios as an offense, where if they're able to pass rush well and defend the run well and play well in coverage, they put you in truly with your back up against the corner of the ring as an offense where you don't feel like you have any hands that you really like. That means the defense is able to just more and more predictably pin their ears back and go get the passer as we get to these long 3rd downs, which you got to expect another throw coming, I think, from the NATO.
Generally, when they've had the back alongside, they've had it be a handoff, and it will be a give to the back, who tries to duck forward as best as he can. But running up the middle, just not there. And I said that trying to find the outside wasn't really working. They should try to go up the gut. That's not really working either. Not really surprised.
Talked about no-win scenarios, right?
Yeah. And I'd love to see them try to get back to those quick the passes where it's literally so quick that the defense can't even do anything to try just to stop the pass.
Set your feet, get the ball out. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard to execute, especially as it's getting cold and colder out. But I think that's going to be maybe one of the only ways forward for Field Kindley. It'll be another punt to come from Huttenall Jr. Getting back there quickly was Bowser trying to get to that one. And this one will roll out, go and bounce all the way to maybe the 47-yard line there. Or the Cardinals will send out the offense. Let's see who's in at QB. I see Carnegie standing still. And Cy Thomas staying out there from defense, so he will get this drive at Cube.
Cube? I haven't heard that phrase before.
Cube? Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I'd heard Q. I'd heard QB.
Yeah, Cube.
And I hear Cube.
He's the Cube.
You think they say that in practice? Cy, you're Cube.
I don't know. Definitely when I played high school ball, we called the QB the Cube.
Okay. I didn't play high school football, so.
I'm not from Eudora, so.
Fair enough. Neither of us have any experience here.
Cy Thomas is the quarterback. He's got Moody alongside him, who already has 2 touchdowns.
Side note, the colored cleats tonight are awesome.
There's Otis. A toss to Otis. Palming the ball, now finding a seam. He's got Hooper in front of him, and Otis will get redemption. He's into the end zone. The second senior to score tonight makes it 34-0. Another first play touchdown. The Cardinals just unstoppable on offense.
And the first man to meet him in the end zone, team captain Cage Crable, was the first player to get an arm wrapped around Julian Otis when he crossed into the end zone. What a night. So cool to see a lot of these players who may not usually get significant touches or big plays even, especially coming up huge in big moments like this. Julian Otis with a big touchdown there. Not sure the exact yardage on that one, but
34. The 38-yarder on that one. And Dunback puts that one up and through. 35-0 here. We'll go ahead and keep you here after that one. 8:25 to go before halftime. We've seen that play work twice now. Preston White did the exact same thing, got to the end zone that way, and Otis was able to find the edge there. Great blocking as well on that play for the Cards. Yeah, just a nicely schemed play. I mean, we've seen Mulvihill have that type of thing as well. I presume he might be next. Maybe that's your anytime bet, is Mulvihill the next senior to get into the end zone.
There you go.
I would definitely hammer that one.
Schematically, I wanted to focus on that.
Should we check, like, they go down to, like, that's what Coach Steffen's doing. He's got a list.
Yeah, get him a touchdown, get him a touchdown.
The fun one will be when the goal becomes to get Braden Marks back in the end zone.
Schematically, that play is really, really nice when you're playing against a team like this that you're able to control the line of scrimmage with. You just put a receiver in motion from the opposite side of the way you want to run, and you move them in that direction, and essentially the quarterback, which is Cy Thomas there, catches the snap and just tosses it forward. So it does technically go down as a passing touchdown for him.
Dunback with a shorter kick here, forcing a return, and still going
Pretty
here
solid
on the return. Down to the 36 or thereabout.
Yeah, those jet sweeps just give a lot of opportunity to set up good blocks, kind of like a modified screenplay where you're almost manufacturing blocks that would be kind of hard to set up otherwise. And it's been so effective tonight because to stop it, you have to be able to kind of blow through the line of scrimmage and blow it up before it even gets going forward. And that's just not something that these Golden Tornado from Field Kindley have been able to do tonight.
Bartmus was in on that tackle of Kobe Kirk, who has definitely become their best weapon with the absence of McGann. I think he might have been their best weapon anyway, the sophomore receiver, who's played a running back and also wildcat at QB.
I would agree.
Had a nice return there. And they want to throw the ball. They go for a quick one. Oh, Klobes was in position on that one. Kirk was the intended target.
That may have actually been swatted at the line.
I like to see that idea, at least from Field Kindley.
Yes.
You can tell, though, that Billingsley, who is a freshman, by the way, at QB, so no serious knock on him, but he's a little scared to keep that ball close to in play. I imagine this season he might have been punished for that a lot. And so he's making it so that it is either his guy or no one, and it's leaning towards the side, the no one side, just tossing it out of bounds,
right.
Which isn't horrible for damage control, but there's a point where they want to try and get some yards going forward.
Yeah, you can't.
Hooper here standing with his arms out. There's no one here for me to cover. So he's going to tuck in on this play and almost over the head of the QB. That was a great job by Billingsley just to keep it in their possession. And then I think Kirk ended up falling on it.
Yeah, the ball did end up falling out of his hands. I do like that point you brought up of acknowledging that Billingsley, the freshman, has likely been punished quite a bit this year when he tried to push the ball downfield or be aggressive. So it's no knock on him whatsoever, but it's absolutely natural as a quarterback when your coach is constantly telling you to take care of the football, kind of just football 101. If you're turning it over a lot, you would become kind of wary of putting the ball in harm's way. And that's something that, unfortunately for Field Kindley, the Cards are very capable of punishing if it gets there.
Well, and add in the terror of playing against a team that is 1 seed, a strong defense. That is going to affect you. That's going to weigh heavy on your mind.
Yeah, it's something that you won't be able to get out of there for sure. They will live in there all night long, something that the Cards have done well.
You might say it haunts him.
Absolutely.
Want to say thank you to everybody tuning in. You're spending your Halloween with us.
Yeah,
Happy
very much
Halloween
so.
to all of you watching, whether you are in Coffeyville, Eudora, or anywhere else around the world. Be another punting play here. Albert Hudnall Jr. gets the snap. It's blocked. It's blocked here. It'll be picked up and into the end zone is Keelan Duncan.
Who else could it be? Who else with a big touchdown
Keelan
on a
Duncan,
broken play?
the sophomore, with his 5th touchdown in the last 2 weeks, blocks that one and gets in with the special teams score.
Wow. Trying to figure out who the man would have been to block it. It could have been Keelan Duncan himself. Could have been Braden Marks.
I think he blocked it himself.
Wow.
Let's see if we can. It might have been
unbelievable. And the Cards here in this spot read have created kind of a graveyard out of possessions for the Field Kindley NATO. They have just continued to turn possessions into points over and over and over. And there's been kind of nothing Field Kindley's been able to do about it. As Dunback going to come up here, attempt his 6th PAT of the night, and that one will fall good. So it is 42-0 here.
Yeah, it was Duncan with the block and the score. Riley Nice was right there with him, but it was Key all by himself getting to that one, getting in the end zone, and making it 42-0 for the Cards here, and it is still the first half. So things going very, very well for the Cardinals, as we expected. I mean, there were earlier games this season that might have been the one for Field Kindley to win that they did not win. This is not the one that they were going to win this season.
No, this is one of those games that, I mean, we were looking at point totals. Most of their games this season were right around this mark. 42 points, 50 points, sometimes in the 30s, but the Cards have already breached the point of success that most teams would reach in a full 4 quarters against Field Kindley. Of course, you got to imagine most of those teams were likely playing 3 quarters-ish of being truly starters in. Foot was likely coming off the gas pretty early.
Another short kick by Dunback. This one, Muff takes a little bit before Wilson is able to field that one, but then he finds a seam here. Wilson's going, oh my word! Dunback has to take him down, and he does so really well. He actually crushes him to the ground. But that is a huge return for Ryder Wilson, who would have been gone otherwise.
Yeah. No, the fact that it required the kicker to stop, really a testament to just how impressive that was.
That was a Pat McAfee-esque blow there for Dunback.
Very much. I expected him to come out with the strut the same way afterwards. No, that could have been a potentially ghoulish return. Big one against the Cardinals. Actually ends up being maybe
still is a big. I mean, into plus territory here.
Right. You maybe get some momentum from that tackle, but energy-wise, he still gave up so many more yards than you would have ever wanted to at this point in the game.
Lyric Langley getting sent out there defensively along with Mulvihill. I mean, I mentioned in the first 3 weeks they let up 160 points total to their opponents and only scored 8. The average has actually really been over 50. The fewest they've allowed was the 38 to Independence and the 48 to Fort Scott. Everything was 50 plus, all the way up to 60 points against them. And so it has just been a rough season for them. But that was a really big return. But then they sort of balk here at the first play of this drive. And in good territory, this is a spot where maybe they could try and find a first score in this game, especially if they could find some room the way that Ryder Wilson was. Maybe they need to get the freshman more involved offensively, listed as a receiver. They could try and get the ball in his hands maybe, because he was moving quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And he looked really, really impressive. There was I mean, you've got to think about how many scoring opportunities they could actually get tonight, how many realistic shots they may get with the ball where you look at it and go, I think they could score here. They could get points. They could be really productive with it on the scoreboard. This may be one of those few. They may not get many more opportunities past the 50-yard line to try to have a successful scoring drive. And if you're the coaching staff or even especially the players out here for the Golden Tornado, you got to take advantage of every opportunity you can get. And this one of them right now in the midst of it. Love to also see some of the pink gear on both sides.
Last day of October.
Yep. Last day.
Here is the first play. And there was a lot of confusion there in the backfield. I think Kobe Kirk ended up coming out with it. And was there maybe a fumble in here? Hey, the Cardinals have come away with the football. I think there was all kinds of confusion in the backfield. I guess Kirk must have been the ball carrier in the end. And some of the best field territory. We've seen actually some decent spots for field Kindley, but some of the best position for the NATO immediately gets turned aside here, turning the ball over to the Cards. Unceremonious fashion as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you could call, at this point, a terrifying night at minimum for the Golden Tornado, seemingly only getting worse here.
Langley is one of the receivers out wide for the Cards. This is going to be a give, I think, might have been Jay Noble in at QB. I'm not sure who the back was. Let's see what PA goes. They might help us out. Jarrett Phillips. That's what I thought it was.
He's gotten a lot of carries. He's gotten a handful of carries this year in games where they've been able to get second stringers in. He's been a frequent out there on the field. Speaks to how capable you are as a running back if you are QB3 in this offense, because the top two are unbelievable.
Yeah, the Cardinals are starting to bring in some players to get some experience in this game. Noble wants to throw. He's looking deep. He throws deep. And he's got a man. It's a great toe drag catch by Nick Campbell, the freshman, getting the toe drag swag.
Certainly made it look pro. Looked as if he'd done that over and over.
I think it was an NFL catch right there.
Absolutely. Tony toe tap.
It was a beautiful throw by Noble. He had his eyes set on that. That was all that he ever was going to do with that play. And he fired it very accurately, and a nice play to get the Cards moving.
Yeah, underrated to put a ball in a good spot for a sideline catch like that. Those toe taps, if you put it a little too far out, your receiver can't go any farther to get to it, of course. So really a spot where precision matters a lot, and Jay Noble and Nick Campbell both come up huge.
Here's another run here. Who's got the ball? It's Noble. Running towards the left side of the end zone. Oh, what a move!
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my word. He put on the brakes. We will have to check that one back out on the replay as Noble into the end zone. That was nasty right there.
My goodness. I mean, what else are you supposed to do?
Oh, no, there's a flag down here.
Oh, some of the offensive linemen throwing the hands up.
Around the 17-yard line.
That would have been right around the time he was getting past the line of scrimmage.
Before it gets nullified, let's take a look back at this one. I'll let you walk us through.
Yeah, of course. He just gets a good gap from the left side of the line, and he's got one or two blockers out on his left side out in the midfield, and it's the juke. That's the entire play, really, as soon as he gets open.
That deserves
one man to beat, and he did it perfectly.
Very deserving of a Chris Berman whoop right there.
I could not go that high with the voice. Props to you for it.
You don't got falsetto? Come on.
I don't got a lot of falsetto.
No, I was a choir kid. The penalty is against the Cards, so the touchdown is taken off the board. It will be still 42-0, 1st and 10 for the Cards. The great juke for Jay Noble does not count, unfortunately, but it was fun to look back at. And
if we say nullified, we say it was, I don't know, I was going to try to say mummified.
No, we can't say that.
Doesn't do anything. I was just trying to find similar words, but it's not even similar. It's just spelled kind of similar.
That was gruesome. It is 1st and 10 from the 26 here. This offense, a different unit out there, getting some opportunities and reps for these guys. It is really nice to be able to protect your star players in the playoffs. And it's great for both functions. You love getting guys experience because these guys will eventually be the leaders for this team.
Right.
But also the current leaders for this team get to make it out of this game healthy, even though they might be ruining the fact they have to sit on the sideline and freeze. Here's Phillips. And he dives for the end zone. Did he get there? They're thinking about it. No, he's short. Jared Phillips.
The knee likely down just short. They're going to say the 2-yard line.
He was trying to become the next senior to reach the end zone. He will have to wait. But first and goal for Eudora.
And that really is the biggest upside, I think, is just being able to bring away all your star players healthy, knowing, almost guaranteeing as much so as you can, that you will come away with all of your core starters for next week's matchup, which is so huge as you start to wear late into October here.
Looks like Noble will hand this one off, and Brody Breckeisen gets into the end zone. So he becomes our next senior to get in. And oh no, is he short?
Oh no, they're going to say he's down at about the 1. That's twice now that we've marked down points for the Cards, or it's going to come back.
I got tricked by Noble. He put his arms up. He was like, oh yeah, he celebrated for him.
What the heck, man?
That ball could not be closer to the goal line, but it is not a score.
You could set up a tombstone on the 1-yard line, and it might reach across the goal line.
Second and goal here. Probably going to be another give to Breckeisen.
Breckeisen's right there lined up again, it appears.
And it will be, and he will duck his head down. Wait for the official signal, and it does come. So now he is in for the score from a yard out. Brody Breckeisen ducked his head, got in, and scored.
Yeah, certainly no doubt in that one. That was after the first reach where it comes back. They're leaving nothing to the imagination here. Cardinals close to breaching 50 points on the evening now. Of course, going for 1. The closest they'll get here is 1 away. But they look to very quickly hit that 50-plus mark that most of the opponents of the Tornado have hit this year.
So we've had, in terms of senior touchdowns, it's been Bowser, Otis, and now Breckeisen. Sportsmanlike conduct after the play means this might be a long PAT or maybe even a long 2-point attempt. Oh, as they say, penalty enforced on the kickoff.
It would only, if I recall the rules correctly, it would only be a replay or enforced on the PAT if it happened during or before the play.
Yeah.
The fact that it happened after the play means they'll just move the punishment to the kickoff, which means the Golden Tornado will benefit from a few yards, if nothing else.
But it does look like they're setting up to go for 2 here. The Cards want the perfect 50. And they've got Phillips as the lead back here. It will be given, though, to Breckeisen, and he's going to get to the left side and score. He's got all 8 points.
Drops the shoulder and levels a man. Truly, the Cardinals doing all they can in the end zone here before halftime even to run this thing up a bit.
I like to call that one the octopus when you get all 8 points yourself. That is what Brody Breckeisen just did, and the Cardinals are up to a perfect 50.
Yeah, it's starting to get gory out here on Halloween night in Eudora. The Cardinals doing all they can to just continue. I wouldn't even say running up the score necessarily, because you've taken starters out. You can't necessarily say, oh, we're running up the score on them.
No, that was
when the starters aren't playing. The backups are just continuing to play well.
It ended up being a nice methodical drive there.
It was,
for the offense. So with the unsportsmanlike conduct, this kick will be coming from a little deeper than normal. We'll see how that plays out. If it results in another touchback or if it results in a big return. Of course, the last return came from Ryder Wilson all the way to the 45 of the Cardinals.
I mean, Dunback may try to do all they can to see how far he can get this one. He's got the room. Certainly no concern of over-kicking it too far, if at all even.
I wonder if we could ever see a senior take over the kicking duties at some point in this game just for fun.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
But Dunback is doing a phenomenal job and would definitely like to get the reps in the postseason.
May as well take advantage of it in the cold, too.
Sprint out there, Nick Campbell trying to find his spot. Nick Campbell.
He said, I don't know.
He's like, Coach, where do you want me? Please let me know. Dunback gets this kick off, and it will be fielded by Wilson, the dangerous returner. Going to the left side, trying to find that same seam that he found before. A flag comes in, but he's going down around the 48-yard line. A big return by Wilson. We'll see what the flag is. It's right at midfield.
So that's right where the flag flew, is where he went down at. Could be a hold or something of that sort on the return team. Or it could be a blocker, or on the kicking side, rather. Or it could be something from a blocker on the return team.
Yeah,
you never
I feel
really
like it's
know.
more likely to be against Eudora just because of the side of the field that it's on. There were more Cardinals than there were Tornado players.
You mentioned lateral movement too. When players are moving east to west trying to hold blocks, a ref sees as much as a shoulder pad get tugged, which it's white on red here. If a shoulder pad moves or a jersey gets pulled, you're going to see it. And you're right, partially because of Campbell trying to find where he was at. There were a lot of Cardinals over on that side.
Zoom. Yeah. I think we just got a holding signal there.
Looks that the Golden Tornado will be moving forward a bit.
Yeah, the Cardinals defense is backing up, so probably holding during the return against Eudora that it gets added on to the end of the return.
What are you doing, calling the play? You got to wait for the officials.
I thought we saw a holding call from him. I don't know. They're still talking things over. And they're actually spotting it right at midfield, which is where the return ended. Let's see if we get any more explanation here. No, they pick up the flag. Okay.
I feel like we've actually seen that a little bit this year. It's not been a complete rarity to see the referees have a flag of some kind and end up picking it up after they concur together.
So let's see if they can do better than they did last time they were in a similar territory, turning it over with the fumble on the first play.
Yeah, good field position they've been no stranger to it today, actually.
Yeah, very true. Kirk gets this give, goes to the left side, gets 3 maybe.
Kobe Kirk, the ball carrier, tackle on the play made by.
And it really just, you can mention the field position over and over, but at some point it just comes down to actually doing something of worth with it. You start at the 50-yard line, even past it on some drives, and it all goes for naught if you're unable to do anything of substance with it. So it comes down to getting first downs and moving the ball, as you said. Throwing it for short gains in the backfield really seemed to be something that was working well earlier on. But whether strength of the Cardinals or something else to move Field Kindley off it, they haven't tried it since.
Looking to throw, and with a little bit of time is the QB here. To his left, throws, and out of bounds, incomplete. He had a little bit of time, but no one was open yet. I noticed there was a coach on this Cardinals side shaking his head, unhappy with something there before the play started, but the defense does enough to force an incompletion, make it 3rd and 7.
Looks as if a receiver will move out wide. It's going to be Hudnall set up on the near side here.
Covering him is Brian De La Rosa. Here is the 3rd and 7. Wanting to throw under pressure. It's a screen play to Kirk, who makes a man miss before being brought down by Landon Adler-Rooney.
Brought down emphatically, too.
Yeah.
You can tell missed tackles are not something this Cards defense is happy about, as they jumped in quickly to bring him down.
So it will be 4th and 8, and it looks like they might go for it. They do, as you mentioned, already have Hudnall Jr. out there. The punter also playing receiver, so they don't need to change personnel, but they also will not be changing because they are going to go for it. Owen Billingsley and Kobe Kirk will set up here for this play. 4th and 8 as we wind towards halftime. No timeouts remaining for Field Kindley. Wanting to throw is Billingsley, under pressure, running, escaping the pocket, now tucks the ball and just runs out of bounds for a loss, where he is taken down by De La Rosa, and it will be a turnover on downs where the Cardinals will actually start in positive territory.
And they're going to have 18 seconds left on the clock. They have yet to use a timeout in this half, so they do have 3 clock stoppages.
We could very well see another score.
Absolutely. Yeah, they can stop the clock 3 times if they want to.
Yeah, I don't know if Stefan's feeling that ruthless. We'll see. We'll see. But they could just do it all on one play.
If they execute properly, absolutely, we could see another score here. 1 tick left, enough to get 1 snap off could be enough for the Cards to score tonight, even with the second string in.
We saw it with 7 seconds left in the first quarter. The Cards squeezed in their 3rd score of the game.
Timeout Eudora, I'd expect. Maybe not.
I'm not sure what.
It may have been. No, there wasn't a play of any kind. I was thinking the clock may be running off for the half. No, that is what's going to happen, actually.
Did they kneel it?
I didn't see a kneel of any kind.
Maybe.
If they did, it would have been a spike, which would kill the clock.
Okay, they did. The Cards did kneel the ball there. So they allow the halftime score to be 50-0. They are content with their first half performance, and I think all Cardinals fans would have to concur. as it is a very solid first half showing here for the first home playoff game in a couple years. 50-0, the Cardinals lead. Keep it here for the halftime show.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, studying animal science or learning about farm and ranch management. Maybe you belong here as part of Helms Hoops on the hardwood. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
All right, welcome in here for our halftime show, brought to us by Attic Storage of Eudora. Attic offers climate-controlled units, RV and vehicle storage, plus clean, move-and-ready spaces. As a veteran-owned, community-focused business, Attic features monitored 24/7 access with friendly on-site managers. Rent, reserve, and pay online anytime at attic-storage.com. So 50-0 here, Hayden, is our score. It has been what we expected it to be. It did not start that way. It absolutely started the opposite of what we were thinking it was going to be. And then it just played out exactly what we thought. And I mean, the only thing that has maybe been unexpected is how quickly the Cardinals have been able to score, because most teams have beat them end of the game. The score is something like this. And I think it probably will be, because we'll see running clock for the entire second half. But just, yeah, the Cardinals have shown they are superior, which is absolutely no surprise. 1 seed over a 16. They earned the right to have this game. It is a very favorable matchup for them, but they've had to make sure that they stay focused on getting the actual job done, and they have done a really good job of that.
Yeah, I think it actually speaks to just the reason you and I feel so good about this team's chances to make a run deeper than this is Coach Steffen hinted before the game that they were not going to look past this opponent and they were going to treat it the same way they would as if they were playing a championship contending team. And the other thing we've seen is throughout the game, when something has gone wrong on the field for the Cardinals, we have actively seen coaches on the Cardinals sideline be visibly upset about it. They are not treating this as the kind of game where it's okay to make a mistake because, oh, we're going to have another shot at it. Like, it'll be okay. No, they are treating every mistake in this game as if it is monumental and something that could lose them the game, the same way you would have to against a Tonganoxie Chieftains team or the Spring Hill Broncos or more teams of that caliber that the Cards could run into down the stretch in this bracket. I love that. I love that this coaching staff is treating this exactly the same way. And, you know, as you said, running clock means we could see just a couple more drives from the Cardinals for the rest of the day, and none of them will be with the starters. But this has been an unbelievable first half, positives across the board. But you're right, at the end of the day, it's what we expected to see with this seed matchup.
Yeah, a really good matchup for the Cards, and it's just going the exact way you expect. We will take our first break here. Still got over 10 minutes before we get going with the second half, so go to a first break here, or a second break rather.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, service.
Everybody can make something because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
Hey, I'm Mike Grope, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Micro, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright.
Here, for instance, we can see Micro doing what he loves to do.
And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
Number one, obviously, is safety. We definitely call 811 to find out if there are any buried lines, fiber optic, whether it be telephone or pipeline or anything. Don't take a chance. Don't think you know and say, well, I don't remember anything being put in there. Call 811 and make sure that that's identified, that there isn't something there before you make that crossing. Because in the end, we want everybody going home.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
All right, back on our halftime show here. Just thinking about how much we've got left here in this game. It's actually not going to be much because it's going to be running clock right away. So that will pretty much be, 24 minutes of football just running out straight. I don't know if the Cardinals will touch the ball even 3 times, you know. We'll see what that actually looks like, how much they get the ball. But I think that this game is pretty much at its end, actually, oddly enough. Like,
it sounds crazy to say.
There
but
won't be much football left. There'll just be a lot of fulfilling the requirement to play 24 more minutes of football. And we'll see what happens in that. I'd love to see some good showings from Field Kindley. If, you know, we mentioned the last games where there's senior players, which they have a few of. Let's see, what is the number? They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors on their roster that will be, you know, wanting to get an opportunity in the second half. And, of course, the Cardinals will want that for themselves. But, I mean, I'd be surprised. Certainly, I think there's almost no way they touch the ball 4 more times. 3 times feels like a lot already. 2 is much more likely. And as recently it has been as simple as they touch it, they score. But if they keep the freshmen out there, you know, maybe they could drive out most of the remainder of the game. I mean, we'll see. But what are you thinking on that, Hayden?
Yeah, I mean, we've got to think that there's kind of going to be, you can use the phrase gentleman's agreement between the 2 schools to kind of just run the clock out and get away from the night and move on to the next one. But I think it would be cool to see a lot of freshmen. I look forward to that, even if you don't necessarily see a lot of scoring out of it. Just seeing some of those really young players getting their opportunity to try to score points.
You know, we're seeing a freshman right now, Wesley Swan, out there playing. I got a member of the band out there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty darn cool. I think it would be pretty awesome though to see a lot of those freshmen and sophomores get involved a little bit throughout the game, because of course it's valuable experience that they may not necessarily get a whole lot of until they get to the age where they're on the roster consistently. But you and I even mentioned in the break, we're like, what do you really talk about? I mean, as far as adjustments go, the Cardinals have clearly adjusted very well in the week leading up to this game. There's not a whole lot else to do. Of course, one of the biggest clock stoppages, if any, would just be a score from the Cardinals, which you like to think it's probably a given and could happen, but nothing's guaranteed if you put younger players out there.
Yeah, I think it's a big encouragement, though, that the team has focused in as well as they have after that, you know, tough start, that they made sure to treat this game the right way, which is to respect the opponent, treat them with respect, and that means scoring on them. That it really does. I mean, like it might sound weird or whatever, but to disrespect your opponent would be to not try, to not run into the end zone and give up on the game. And the Cardinals are treating them with respect. They want this. They're getting to the end zone. They're celebrating. They know this means something. And so that really actually is providing respect to the opponent. And I expect we'll see that in the second half, and it might be in the form of kind of just getting to the end of the game, you know. Well, we've got one more break to take here. They've got 2.5 up on the clock. We'll see, though, sometimes that tends to be wishful thinking. They might add 3 more minutes up, but we will do one last break here on the halftime show either way, and then we will get going on the second half of this game. 50-0 our score.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health.
The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother-baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here, preparing for a career in healthcare as part of Fort Scott Community College's nursing program. Or maybe you belong on stage as part of the Hounds band or theater department. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
For the best care for your pet, choose DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Dr. Matt Fair and his team are dedicated to providing high-quality medical care with compassion and a personal touch. They treat every pet as their own, ensuring they receive the attention and respect they deserve. For routine checkups, testing, vaccinations, chiropractic and acupuncture care, or surgical services, you can trust Dr. Fair and his team at DeSoto Veterinary Clinic. Call 913-585-1115 to schedule an appointment today or visit DeSotoVetClinic.com.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganoxie!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch Varsity Sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free.
All right, ready for the third quarter to get underway here. As it will be the Cardinals to start with the ball. Who's the opponent?
Sumner.
Guard's got a couple guys back deep to return here. See who gets the ball. I think one of them might be Dunback. I'm not sure. See who gets to this one. Trying to fight for everything he can get. Was that, I think I saw 19 in there. Did you see that, Hayden?
That was 19 on the return side.
That'd be Brian De La Rosa.
19 was the tackler and the returner.
Okay. So that's Brian De La Rosa and Jeffrey Cavanis. So the Cards will get going here, and the running clock also gets going. Speaking of running clock, it's taking place in a couple other playoff games around the Frontier League, or with the other Frontier League opponents. Spring Hill 61-0. They lead J.C. Harmon in the third quarter. Paola 55-0 over Sumner. And two other ones, Tonganoxie with a 32-0 lead over Fort Scott. And Lewisburg with a more modest 14-0 lead over the Chanute Blue Comets. And Braden Marks gets the carry. Instead of looking for a random 44, I know who has changed jerseys at halftime, which I'm sure was a...
Oh, there you go.
I'm sure he was a little cold taking off his jersey for a second there, but...
Maybe not. We talk about 20 degrees warmer all the time. So.
Hopefully we were sitting around for 15 minutes.
True.
I got to update my roster, though, making sure it says 44/50 going forward. But Braden Marks... Maybe the bets are going in on him being the next senior to score. Who knows?
Could the bets be cashing? I am not DraftKings.
You know, the real drama is, will we see Bryce Mulvihill get into the end zone?
That is absolutely the drama. And that one is snuffed out pretty much immediately in the backfield by Field Kindley. One cool note about this is there are only 3 active quarterbacks on the Cards roster, and normally that would seem like you have a pretty deep quarterback room, and they do. But in a game like this where you're trying not to play your starters, Houston Carnegie and Cy Thomas both get meaningful snaps as the starting quarterback. So that means, as far as we know, Jay Noble will likely get pretty much all of the quarterback snaps for the rest of this game.
They just called out Camden Robinson, got the carry on that last play. This one is a give to the right side.
That was Nick Campbell.
Nick Campbell getting another carry.
On that far side. He's gotten quite a bit of action.
Yeah.
Even near the end of the second quarter,
he had that big catch.
Big catch on the sideline. He had this jet sweep to his left side that he dove towards the pylon, wasn't quite able to score. We've got eyes in the sky over Cardinal Arena as well. Somebody's pushed a drone up over the 50-yard line.
I swear I've seen games stopped over that before, because technically it could like die and fall on someone.
Right.
But they're letting it ride here. 3rd and 7 for the Cardinals, trying to avoid a 3-and-out to start the second half. It'll be a pitch back here to the freshman Robson, and he's got the 1st and more. Camden Robson, he's actually listed as a QB, but they're using him as one of the running backs in the backfield here.
And the sophomore gets quite a few.
Freshman.
That's going to freshman. Yeah. Freshman. You're right. Picks up a good gain for the Cards. Freshens up the downs, brings him to another 1st.
Puts him in plus territory as well.
Wouldn't plus territory technically be anything ahead of line of scrimmage? Anything ahead of the sticks, wouldn't that technically be plus territory? I'm throwing off your terminology here.
I know, yeah, I just know broadcasters say that for past midfield. And, oh, my word, Noble being very elusive there. I don't think anyone realized he had the ball for quite a while. Picked up 5.
Certainly took him a second. And he was able to get quite a bit rolling.
I think that I don't know, at least personally myself, if I've seen we haven't seen Jay Noble touch the ball much, but going with that juke before and that run just now, I think that he could be a very fun high school quarterback. Just those guys tend to run the ball a lot, keep the ball in their own hands.
They tend to be a lot of fun to watch too.
Yeah, he seems to fit that style very well and could be a lot of fun. He's only a sophomore, so the Cards got a couple more years of Jay Noble ball. Motion man is Campbell. Noble will pitch it to Robson, and he will not find the edge there. Brought down by a couple tacklers. One of them, Keazian Riley.
And this defensive line for Field Kindley, to give them some credit opening up this second half, they've actually looked fairly fearsome over there on their side of the line of scrimmage. They've gotten into the backfield quite a bit and done a really good job disrupting the flow of how the Cardinals have wanted the second half to start to play out. Certainly still, I'd say it's playing out pretty beneficial for them, but Field Kindley is putting up a really good fight defensively, certainly worth noting.
Force a 3rd and 10 here. Noble will likely look to throw. That's exactly what he'll do. He's got him, and it's picked, though. It's Kirk. The star man on offense for Field Kindley makes a big defensive play, picking off Noble. And the first drive for the Cards results in a turnover.
And what was, we mentioned as a fearsome, potentially looking defense for Field Kindley, turns downright chilling right there on a big-time turnover, a throw that was open. Jay Noble could have certainly squeezed that throw into the window if could have put a little more zip on the ball, but those kind of passes, we saw a couple last week when you're throwing down the seam and the defender is able to just trail the hip of the receiver, makes it very easy if the ball's not thrown well for them to just stick their arms out and grab it. And certainly a really good job there from the offensive star for Field Kindley, Kirk. Change the downs over, give Field Kindley a shot at it pretty early here in the second half.
They started the 39 high snap, ends up in the hands of Kirk, who's going to just try and make whatever he can out of this play. Runs towards the sideline. It'll be a loss of 4 or 5.
More than that, I think he could have lost over 5 yards.
Rudy takes him out of bounds, takes him out of bounds. No gain on the play.
They will say no gains. They'll say he got.
Did he get back to the line?
No, they're spotting it 5 yards back.
All he said was no gain, which is true.
That is
if you
accurate.
lost 4. If we're going to talk about terminology here, Hayden.
My apologies. No, he certainly did not gain yards. That is accurate.
A few times we've seen the bad snap cause trouble, but they actually haven't turned the ball over, which I would contest. I think the turnovers on downs need to be categorized as turnovers. It's literally in the name, but
certainly,
regardless, rolling out of the pocket and throwing this one away to the sideline. Some players thinking there could have been a penalty, but actually he was out of the pocket back to the line, so followed the rules there on that incompletion. But we've just seen plenty of throwaways for Billingsley. Comes 3rd and 14.
Just puts him in a tough spot offensively. I mean, the options of what you can really attempt to do is fairly slim. We know Billingsley, again, we mentioned to no fault of his own, really. It's just tough to push the ball downfield after what you've got to imagine as a season where he's been punished a lot for trying that, and now he's having to do it against a really strong defense like the Cardinals that's going to look to take advantage of it again.
You know, and this would be the type of thing where you might have to be making it up on the fly, which I think a lot of coaches do not want to do. But it would be interesting to see them run routes to the sideline. If that's where he's comfortable throwing,
just keep working.
You know, run one of those out routes towards the sideline, so that he actually has someone where he can aim at and not be worried that if it goes incomplete, it's out of play.
Right.
They're going to take their first time out here, talk things over. But I don't know. That's a lot to ask for, and also I don't know if they're really too worried about the way the rest of this game goes. Of course, they are playing for pride. I have no doubt. I'm not saying anything about that. But I don't think they need to be drawing up new offensive schemes.
Right.
There's no getting back in this game. So
as far as concepts go, they may just run with what's familiar, run with what everybody knows.
Yeah. But if this were earlier in the season, that might be the type of thing where if he's only comfortable throwing it to the sideline, let's put someone there.
Right.
You know,
put it down in the book. Yeah. I mean, the old Bill Belichick principle, infamously, was just make things easy. That was his philosophy on everything. He said offensively, defensively, whatever you've got to do to make things easier on your quarterback, easier on your players, easier on your line, do that.
Looks like there's a different back in there. I think it's Kyler Hurlbutt, the freshman, is the backer. And, great catch by Kirk to make sure it didn't go over his head. And now he's got some space. Kobe Kirk. It's a decent run there after making an Odell Beckham-esque catch on the snap.
Was it one-handed?
It was. It was back here. It was. Yeah, you had to reach far back there to bring that one in. De La Rosa in on the stop, forcing the 4th down. It was a 9-yard pickup.
10 on that play, has a 4th and 5.
I don't know if it was supposed to be that way.
4th and 5 here.
It is going to be go for it territory.
Yeah, they've got Kirk set for the Wildcat. Imagine he might try and run towards the edge, and that's exactly what he'll do. Kirk takes out. Oh, makes a man miss before getting crushed down there. Who was in on that stop? That was Kobe Hoover. And Landon Aguilar made a great play before, so I think we can rib him a little bit. He got juked there. But then Colby Hoover was there to cover for him.
Well, and the other thing is,
on downs there.
The other thing you can look at if you want to put a positive spin on that is if he's not there to try to attempt that tackle, the juke doesn't even need to be attempted. Kirk doesn't have to slow up at all, and the tackle's not able to happen.
There's a lot more defense than just being the one to make the tackle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the reason you look at pressures. You hear people talk about pressure so much. It's really significant. That's the kind of thing that rattles an offense a bit, pushes them off schedule.
So the Cards get the ball back in opponent's territory, and flag will come in. There was still a lot of collision in there, and still actually a lot of commotion.
Right, not before an absolutely monstrous tackle was made right at the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure who it was, but
some big boys on the line there.
Yeah, there was a NATO player that crushed the running back right at the point of handoff.
There's the junior Paxton LeBaron One of the big players, big bodies in there. And it will be the Cardinals backing up a bit. They'll set up for the 1st and 15. They're now back at their own 49-yard line. What does Jay Noble have here on the 1st and 15? He will hand this one off to Campbell. And Campbell couldn't find the edge there. So it'll be 2nd and 15.
I feel Kindley defense is doing pretty well here. Not allowing anything big to the outside. They've done a good job to contain the Cardinals offense to basically just within structure, and up the middle is really all they've been able to do super well thus far in the second half. Speaking of that running clock, as you can see, brings us down to fairly close to the end of the third quarter already here, as that will be the case for the rest of the day. So this third and fourth quarter will keep moving at a pretty steady pace here rest of the way out.
And with the freshman and sophomore in there, it's a much more even game, and so the ball is kind of just staying around midfield at this point. A fake to Campbell. Noble maybe wanted to keep that himself, but he's going to be brought down in the backfield. A big play there made by Alan Grandberry, one of the seniors on this team. That's a cool moment for him, getting to the backfield and bringing down the QB.
Very much so. The kind of thing that these players, that's what you remember. Those moments, those celebrations, those cheers within the line with your teammates and your guys.
He's going to say, I sacked the 1 seed's quarterback.
Yeah. The grandkids will be going, really?
Yeah. Back in the day.
He's been going, yeah, they were the 1 seed. Best team in the bracket, and I sacked them. Which is, again, true.
Maybe he'll be saying something like state champions quarterback. You never know. You never know.
We can only hope.
It'll be 3rd and 20 here. A big, long play here.
Gotta think Noble will be looking to go to the air.
Yep, he's rolling to his left. Sets his feet, throws, and out of the hands of Campbell, incomplete. Cards have been highlighting him. They clearly trust in the freshman a lot there, and he's made some big plays. Had a huge reception earlier. Didn't bring that one in. It wasn't going to be enough for the first down anyway, so the Cards will punt away here on 4th and 20. It'll probably be the last play of the quarter.
Yeah, based on the numbers, if they want to run it that way, they certainly can be. They will make it the last play of the quarter, I got to imagine. Coach Stephan is...
Noble's staying out there. Suppose with the score where it's at, see if you can pick up more than 20 on one play.
Yeah. And as you said, these teams kind of gridlocked. You don't necessarily...
I would love to see a pooch punt, just for fun.
Oh, that'd be phenomenal.
Noble wants to throw. He's got a man open. It kind of comes out of his hands awkwardly, though he did find Brian De La Rosa, but with the way that ball was spiraling, it was always going to be tough. Falls incomplete, a turnover on downs there.
Oh, the ball was in his hands, though, too. That's certainly going to be looked at as one that got away for young De La Rosa.
A little bit of will fall on Noble, though. He would have liked to have thrown a better ball. He comes off a little upset at himself in the way that one played out. And that is the end of the quarter. We go scoreless. 50-0 remains our score as we head to the 4th.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
All right, 4th quarter underway here, or we'll get there very shortly. With our score still 50-0 following a Eudora turnover on downs. Decent territory here. Billingsley, the quarterback, the freshman firing one. And it's going to, oh my word, are you kidding? Oh, it's fumbled! It's going to be picked up by Breck Eisen.
No way! Unbelievable turn of events there.
That is the most ridiculous play. We will definitely take a look at that one on the replay. Should have been picked landed into the waiting arms of Casey Barnhart, who then immediately fumbled, and Breckheisen comes away with it. Hayden, I'll let you walk us through the replay here.
Unbelievable. I mean, you see from the moment that ball was dropped back, Billingsley wanted to let it fly. It was jumped perfectly, came upfield, got his hands to it, but it somehow bounced back into the hands of the receiver, who coughs it up almost immediately. Breckheisen does a really good job to immediately get a hand to it.
Yeah, it was Hertig, the freshman, that got to that one in the air and knocked it into the hands of Barnhart, another freshman, who then had it taken away, and the senior comes away with it. That is a ridiculous play.
That might be the most fun play we watch on the entire night, and that'll start off another drive for the Cards here.
Yeah, the most circus play that you could see.
Yeah, that was downright ghastly for both sides. There are coaching staffs on both sidelines that are going to be having hands on the head. Like, even on the Cardinals side, they'll be going, I mean, we got the ball. Like, technically went well our way, but all kinds of stuff. You're going to be looking at your defensive back like, and how do you not come down with that?
Breckheisen, who has scored 8 points in this game, comes up with the recovery on that one.
He's got an octopus would not be a sentence that makes sense in any other context.
Yeah, hardly makes sense here.
Not really.
That's just what my dad and I called it one day, and we stick with it every time we see it. We're saying that's an octopus right there.
I mean, I call it a snowman, but you know.
Oh,
yeah,
I like that.
It's an 8.
I was thinking there's not enough things with octo in the name that are cool, like octagon.
Very true.
I guess you could say he's octagon. Is that kind of cool?
That'd be fun within context. It's got to be one very specific situation.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't even know if we should follow this line of thinking right now.
The snowman bit comes from my racing background.
I like it.
Where within I race BMX.
Yeah.
Within a particular cycling race in my discipline, there's 8 riders. So if you finished 8th place was a really bad finish, we'd say you came home with a snowman.
I like that a lot. Ooh, flag here. I guess the clock ran out on the offense. Quite a few procedural penalties on this young group for the Cards. You know, get them out of your system early while you're young.
Absolutely. I think that's to be expected, though, with a young roster. I mean, got to think about the number of reps these guys are getting together as a team. It's not a ton, and almost none in real game time before today. So procedural penalties and things of that nature are certainly nothing unbelievable to see.
Cards take the timeout. So that does stop the clock for maybe the first time this entire second half. Or I guess the Field Kindley also took a timeout. But 9:16 to go here in this game. Everything moving very quickly here towards a conclusion. The Cards did really well in this game early. They put up 21 points in the first quarter. They got it to 50 by halftime. And they've been able to get experience for a lot of young guns. We've seen 3 seniors score touchdowns here on senior night. Bowser, Otis, and Breckheisen being that trio. And a lot of different either seniors or freshmen and sophomores getting experience here in this game. And also rest for a lot of the players that are hoping to be the big difference makers in the rest of this postseason. Here's Campbell, and he brings this one in for the first down on 3rd and long. Brought down by Kirk in the end, but a big pickup there for the freshie.
Yeah, I like to see the Cardinals moving the ball well with a lot of these younger players. We keep driving that point home, but seeing players who don't get a lot of game time being able to get in. And
Kirk, here you should show.
Ooh.
Kirk here, that way. Their next best player, number 3 right there, not feeling great. They already lost their starting running back, Nathan Magana. Kirk has been their next biggest playmaker, and he is really not feeling great. That left shin, you wonder if it maybe just got hit hard, and so it's just going to be a bruise. That would be okay, but it would suck right now.
In the cold weather, the bruise would certainly feel that kind of way.
Yeah, but he's not feeling great. After that, that could be a big loss in terms of just somebody that could motivate the rest of his team. Another delay of game here on the Cards. You know, it's very Belichickian. The clock gets to keep running. I remember a game against my Jets where Belichick did a false start, which allowed the clock to continue to wind before a punt. And I don't think necessarily that's what the Cardinals are doing. It could actually be, because that clock continues to run after the penalty. Here is the 2nd and 15 play. Noble's going to run this one. Noble's got a lot of speed going to that left side. Oh, my word. Someone jumping in on the tackle there.
So, Reed, by that logic, are the Cardinals just moving on to round 2 after this game?
Oh, like
just on to the round 2.
We're on to round 2. Yeah, like we're on to Cincinnati.
No celebration, no excitement, just on to round 2.
Thankfully, Coach Steffen's interviews are more interesting than Belichick's.
That's worth a thank you as well. That is very, very. I don't know what the correct word would be. It's very gracious of him to continuously give us tidbits of information throughout the week and things of that sort, because no coach is obligated to do that.
Here's the 2nd and 13. Noble wants to throw, and this one's going to be incomplete. Should have been picked off the hands of the junior Aiden Stoltz. I was going to say, and I think it still applies to that play, Jay Noble has looked very self-assured. He does not look scared at all to throw the ball.
No.
And that is something that a lot of players will have to overcome. And we have seen Noble, I mean, he gets the ball, his eyes are downfield. He wants to make a play, and he's throwing it deep and throwing it with a lot of good accuracy. I think that's, as his career goes on, he will be a great quarterback for the Cards.
Oh, that is ultimately a great attribute, not being afraid to push the ball downfield. That's something you got to coach a lot of young quarterbacks to be willing to do a lot of the time.
Here he is again wanting to throw. Throws on the run, and Kirk makes a really nice pass deflection. That was a fantastic play there in coverage.
And that's a wobbled Kirk as well, who's been struggling to move a little bit. Does a really good job to get to that spot.
Took it away from Lyric Langley.
And that's going to bring up a fairly long 4th down here for the Cards as we come up on the second half of this 4th quarter. Clock continuing to wind.
Do we see a score, or is it 50-0 to end?
No, it's 50-0.
Okay.
We could see. I think if there is a scoring drive,
I think it could be this play.
It would have to be here. It would have to be this play. I agree.
Let's see what play they go for. Noble wants to throw. Not a lot of pressure. Goes deep, and Campbell catches it.
Wow. Felt like it was bound to happen with as many shots as Jay Noble had been taken downfield. It felt like eventually it was just a matter of time before one did pan his way, and that one certainly does. Drive stays alive for the Cards.
Listed at 5'7", 125 pounds. Nick Campbell brings that one in. Let's take a look at that one on the replay, Hayden.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier how he's so willing to push the ball downfield. Fear certainly not something he thinks about. That's all that was on his mind here. Eyes are straight up downfield, under pressure too, under duress, lets that ball fly. Into traffic, he had 3 receiving options, also a handful of defenders. Truly drops that one into the bread basket.
Yeah, great grab by Campbell there.
Campbell.
1st and 10 now at the 14. Now it does look like we can see another score, and that's going to be a penalty against the defense. That'll get the Cards closer to the end zone.
And now, Reed, my pick of not seeing a score isn't looking too great.
All of a sudden the odds changed.
Your pick of seeing a score on that play didn't look too great.
Yeah. And we just saw Wesley Swan sent out there. Figured we'd give him another shout out because we shouted him out at the halftime show where he was playing trombone with the band.
Yep.
So the freshman number 26 sent out there with the Cardinals offense.
He'll get his opportunity.
Let's see what they do here near to the end zone.
Man, it'd be so cool to see another score here from one of the younger players, or a senior would be awesome.
It is going to be Swan with the ball, and the trombone player's in for the score. He didn't even need a halftime speech.
He's celebrating a couple of different ways. And that is...
Oh, my word.
That's a straight-up wicked performance on the Cardinals. That could be the cap-off. That will likely be the final score of the night. And that one is handled beautifully. Absolutely love to see touchdowns there. Swan, the 5'3", 120-pound freshman.
That is unreal that we got to see him during halftime and then go out there and score a touchdown in the playoffs for the Cards. Gets a high five from Coach Steffen. Absolutely awesome. Now the Cards preparing to go for 2 here.
That's incredible, man. Not necessarily looking for all feel-good stories at this point in the night, but seeing a few.
A give to Robson is going to be shut down there. So the score will stay right at 56. I think it was Alan Grandberry again. Second time he's got in the backfield to make a big stop, so the score stays right at 56. Go here.
Oh, my goodness. It's Larry the Lobster. That is a massive costume.
An awesome Halloween night fit for the football game. That is spectacular.
We're just going to leave that shot for a second. That's beautiful.
You get the spotlight. Here, let's go here and we can take this.
Clear it away real quick.
There you go.
There's a straight up shot. The football field on the back half and the lobster on the front half.
That is hilarious and awesome, and we love that. All right. Get back here to the game. 56-0 here. Wesley Swan getting into the end zone, our only scorer here of the second half, and it will likely, almost certainly, stay that way unless we see either a big return or something go wrong on the return for Field Kindley.
What a night, man. What a night.
It's gone how it was expected to, but that is great because it was expected to be a fun night for the Cards. It has been.
And it's not over yet.
Yeah.
You have some more senior night mentions and then a little glow show coming from the band after the night's conclusion. So the festivity's not over here yet.
I think it's so big to get the freshmen involved too, just because they're going to have that drive all offseason. They're going to think about that. You know, you really make an impact. Oh, this goes over the head of Aiden Stoltz, the returner, who then picks it up, and he's going quick to the right side. Oh, my word! Just the kicker! Dunback gets another tackle today. That is the second time that exact thing has happened, that the returner muffed it and then picked it up, found the seam, and had to be taken down by Dunback.
And Stoltz had a legitimate shot to run that one back. Oh, he's certainly celebrating excited. He was the one who also had the probably should have been interception on that scoring drive from the Cardinals. All kinds of big moments here tonight from the
It does feel
third
like
year.
Even in the first half, Field Kindley were almost always at midfield, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, they were backed up a few times, but they've been at midfield a lot of this game.
I would say the majority of their snaps have been right around the 50-yard line.
Yeah, especially in the second half. But time running out on this game. We'll get to see maybe one or two more plays. What can Field Kindley do here? Billingsley throws for Kirk, and he's got it! Kirk's going to score!
Wow.
He deserved that. I'm going to be honest with you. Kobe Kirk specifically.
No, I'm excited to see it.
Deserved to get into the end zone. Only the third game all season in which they have scored points, as it is a pass over the top to Kobe Kirk, who we saw limping earlier with Magana going out. He became their biggest threat,
and
he gets in.
And they will not be shut out.
So 56-6 as the clock about to hit triple zeros. And the kick's going to be blocked. Phillips, I believe it was. Yeah, Jarrett Phillips falling on top of that one. So 56-6 will be our final score.
Well, and worth noting, it had been nearly 60 days since a point had been scored from Field Kindley going into that.
We were saying it might be 50-0 at the final. We saw two scores. Here, let's take a look back as this game is done now. But look at this touchdown play here.
He knew what he wanted to do. He's rolling to his left side, takes time to set his feet. And that Elijah Klobes likely should have had the interception there by all rights.
Or that's 37, actually.
Not.
That's Trenton Ridinger, another senior.
It is Ridinger. But he should have had the interception by all rights, but there is no opposing score that I could be happier for than that one.
Yeah, Kirk specifically deserved that. Gets into the end zone. 56-6 will be our final. Want to say thank you to everybody from Field Kindley. They a great team, a fun team to play against, and it's always tough whenever you get a matchup like this. So just appreciate them showing up, playing good football, and their crowd showing up, people tuning in on the broadcast.
Absolutely.
I am happy to see him score. I mean, of course, for the Cards, they would have liked to shut out and to not let that play happen, but I think that means a lot more to the visitors than it does against the Cardinals. So they can take that one back home with them, as that is the end of their season. The Cardinals will roll on. They get a home playoff victory for the first time in a couple years, and that means that they will be moving on to the next round. We will be moving on to our post-game show, so keep it around here for a little more analysis for this Halloween win by the Cardinals.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Cards!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
More time before you wake up in the wild.
Our natural world needs us now. Step by step, side by side, together, we can find a way to ensure that all life on Earth can thrive. To learn more about how you can help protect and conserve nature, visit nature.org.
Your home for live, local sports. Varsity Sports Live delivers professional level coverage with high-quality video and broadcasters that know your schools and community.
Touchdown, Tonganashi!
With the support of local businesses, you never pay to watch varsity sports. Live, local, free high school sports coverage. That's Varsity Sports Live.
Grass gets it away. Moore's down the middle. And he makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans!
Keep up with the action at varsitysportslive.com. Live, local, free high school sports.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
At Fort Scott Community College, we understand that a scary part of figuring out your future isn't only answering the question, what should I do, but where do I belong? Maybe you belong here as part of Fort Scott Community College's John Deere Tech program. Maybe you belong here as part of the perennial playoff-bound Greyhound baseball team. I don't know where you've been or where you're headed, but I know we're saving a spot for you because you belong at Fort Scott Community College.
The kids roll at Halloween parties.
All right, post-game show here for you. After a 56-6 playoff win for the Cardinals, post-game show brought to us by Eudora Animal Hospital. For 40 years, Eudora Animal Hospital has been caring for pets and livestock with fair pricing, trusted service, and compassionate care. Pet owners from across the region trust their four-legged friends to Eudora Animal Hospital. To learn more, you can visit eudoravet.com. And also, all of this great action has been presented to you by Kansas Insurance, where they believe in taking time to issue personal care and attention to each individual client. To see how they can help you protect what matters most, call 913-369-6600, proudly bringing Eudora Sports Live to Cardinals fans everywhere. So Hayden, the last laugh goes to the visitors, but it was a very, very comfortable win for the Cardinals here on Halloween night, and they will move on to the next round as they were expecting, and that means we'll be right back here next week for more playoff football in Eudora, Kansas. What do you make of, really this game was the first half. We just saw those two big plays, the Wesley Swan touchdown, the Kirk touchdown. Really, in reflecting on this game, reflect on the first half and just what this means for the postseason going forward.
Yeah, I think it was it's the way the Cardinals wanted to start off. They had a handful of mistakes and things that you're, of course, going to want to clean up, but overall, they played well. Their big players made big plays in big moments. And this is overall one I think the coaching staff's going to come away from going, we expected to do that, and we did our jobs. Even if things weren't perfect, which of course they never will be, at the end of the day, you were running the ball well on the ground. You were playing good stout defense. You got a turnover on downs. They played to their identity, which we talked in pregame. That was something that Coach Steffen hammered home over and over was, we are preparing for this team as we would prepare for anybody else. We are not looking past this game. And by saying that, he's essentially saying, branching out, we want to play the way we've played Cardinal football all season long. And they did just that to their credit. So, I think you can't ask for a whole lot more on a night like this. Of course, you could say, we'll leave the starters in, score more points. It's not about that. You mentioned it's about respect to a sense. You get it to the point where the game is pretty much over by halftime, and both teams very clearly had an agreement to, all right, that's the first half. Game's probably over. Let's walk it out from here. So I think it's a good night for them. Of course, the players getting to have senior night at home in a dominant victory, getting to, a lot of those seniors getting to have touchdowns, seeing freshmen and sophomores who may have not gotten a lot of playing time otherwise get to have essentially 2 full quarters of being the starters. It's really, really fun, and it's amazing for these players to get this opportunity, and looking forward to future games. It just sets you up well. It's kind of a tune-up game in a sense of you get to see what works well. You get to see what doesn't. You get to have some of those insights into, hey, we struggle a little bit with pre-snap penalties still. Let's clean those up. Hey, we're missing a blocking assignment on a kickoff. Let's do a little bit better at that. It just helps them patch up any, albeit small, but nonetheless leaks in the ship maybe going into some of these tougher games. I'm just really impressed with them. They did their jobs ultimately. We didn't expect to see a whole lot other than this outcome. But you'll never say no to a dominant win at home in front of your home crowd on Halloween night nonetheless. A spooky win for the Cardinals, I suppose.
Yeah, so Coach Steffen gets his 5th win, a 5th postseason win as the Cardinals head coach, and the Cardinals matched their longest win streak for a decade. It was 2015 that they last won 8 straight. So the last time that they won 11, or that they won more than 8 straight, they won 11 straight in 2011, and that took them all the way to the championship game where they did come up short. They lost 2 years in a row, and both years it was a 21-0 final score in the championship game. But that is the last 2 times that they were undefeated Frontier League champions, and they have taken a first step towards maybe something like that, but maybe a different ending at the end of a different finish to the end of the journey for the Cardinals. But this one was always going to be a pretty easy game. It did play out that way for the Cards. They earned that right, and they have earned a spot in the next round. Trying to see if there's anything else we should throw in here. A first Halloween game since 2014, and they get a win tonight. And yeah, for Field Kindley, they fall to 0-9 on the year, and that will be the end of their season. The 2-6 in the playoffs for their head coach Deontay Wade. I don't know if we've got much more to add here. I mean, this game was pretty cut and dry, to be honest with everybody. I mean, you guys all watched it as well, and a 56-6 final score about tells the story. Maybe even flatters Field Kindley a little bit that they did get that score at the end there. But this is a really great team. They deserve for this season to continue, and they have earned that. They moved to 8-1 on the year. They have not lost since that Week 1 game against the back-to-back 3A champions. And
we're 2 straight months with the Cardinals not dropping a game yet.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put anything out there, but doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon here. I mean, they look so controlled, so powerful. We know based on the numbers that it's very likely that next week's matchup is also a favorable one. Won't be a 0-win team, but will likely be a team that you look at the numbers and you still favor them pretty heavily.
It actually can't be a 0-win team because they at least won 1 playoff
game. Right. Yeah, mathematically. I was homeschooled, okay. But even then, beyond that next week, you've got to think the week following that is likely a team maybe around the margin of 5 or 6 wins, maybe a little bit higher, but still a team you look across the field from and go, we're still better than this team. We should still beat this team if we do our jobs well. So I think it's more glory of getting that 1 seed, more benefits that you're reaping of playing so well throughout those first 8 games of your regular season. They're going to get, by the numbers, 2 very favorable matchups early on before the quote-unquote real matchups even start for them.
Yeah. So looking at some stats from this game, we got Moody with 3 rushes for 114 yards and 2 scores. Preston White with the 49-yard receiving score. Bowser, the 23-yard rush. Let's see here. We've got Julian Otis, that's right, with the 40-yard receiving touchdown. So those goes down as a couple passing touchdowns there for the players as well.
That is also an average of 38 yards per carry for Grayson Moody tonight.
Yeah, and of course the big reception made by Nick Campbell. That was really nice, connecting with Jay Noble. There was the fumble recovery and 2-point conversion separately by Breck Eisen, the blocked punt and score by Keelan Duncan. A lot of different big plays in this game. Let's see. Let's make sure we can mention everyone that scored. Moody with his 2 scores. White, the big one. Bowser, Otis, Duncan with the blocked punt. Breck Eisen with the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And then it was Wesley Swan getting the final score of the game for the Cards before Kobe Kirk added on 6 points for his team. So yeah, that is what led us to where we are with this 56-6 win for the Cards. They will be in the next round. We will be there with you. It will be my birthday on November 7th, and it will be great to share that with you. So we will see you next week. For Hayden Harves and myself, Reed McAvoy, Thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. Happy Halloween. Go Cardinals, and good night.
Charlie was born at LMH. We had a great team of nurses. Not only did they check in on us regularly, they always asked if we had questions, always made sure that we understood what was going on. I cannot say enough wonderful things about the labor and delivery, family birthing, and mother baby care team at LMH Health. We had to put our entire trust into their hands, and just everyone was so friendly and so supportive.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
I used to drive an ambulance as an EMT, and I've always tried to be a safe driver. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. In my car, if I see a truck or bus taking a turn, I know to take my time. When big vehicles turn right, they may swing wide to make the turn. If you try to sneak in, well, it's a lesson you'd rather not learn the hard way. When trucks and buses turn, let's you and I wait. It's our roads, it's our safety.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
From the gridiron to the hard court, the pitch to the mat, don't miss any of the action. We're there with live, local sports coverage at VarsitySportsLive.com.